No intro, guys. It's 10 o'clock. I don't feel like doing an intro, but no intro today, guys. No intro. Welcome to a special Let's Talk Pop. So it's not an episode of Let's Talk Pop, where it's alright. It's just a special late night episode of it's Let's Talk Pop, and we're gonna dedicate it to what apparently was Spider-Man 3, the synopsis of Spider-Man 3. And it's not going to make you happy if you're into, if you really like the Sony stuff. I don't think it'll make you happy. Also, invitations have been sent out. Yeah, it's not exactly, not exactly, not exactly. Not exactly interesting to what the what's been said about Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, Venom 3, The Last Dance. Not exactly positive. Okay? And I'm gonna have to find an article here. And please, if you have, okay, we're gonna get cause we're gonna tell you about the plot. Okay? Yeah. Rumored plot leak. All right. So yeah. Okay, man. You're free to join. Every single one of you. Venom Last Dance. Yeah, I talked about Venom about last Saturday, right? Yeah, I talked about Venom last Saturday. And I think that episode, yeah, it confirmed Venom was the last. Is the last. Movie in the trilogy. Sorry, I'm typing. You're all free to come in, guys, and comment if you want, please. I'm watching the basketball game. Okay, so yeah. So according to plot leaks, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, well, Peter Parker, not exactly Spider-Man, might be in the movie. Okay? But here's the twist. Not as Spider-Man, but as a kid, as a child. Yes. As a child. Yes, as a 10-year-old kid. You heard me correct. Maybe as a 10-year-old kid. And you're all free to wants to come on, man. Come on. Okay, I know I said 10:10, but I was able to start earlier than usual. So come on and watch, please. Watch with me, guys. I know it's not the most exciting title for a stream, but please. Okay. Okay, so let me bring it up, man. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Okay. Now Degrassi, if he does come on, he said he might. take that with a grain of salt. Right? Oh, don't take it with a grain of salt. Take that uh, right now. Right now, he might. Come on. Okay. All right. So if he's here, I know I sent him an invitation. He might be in the chat. I don't know. But yeah. Okay. So zero people watching. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Well, here we go. Here we go. Okay, the grass is about to come on. Uh, yeah, blinded. If you're watching, I maybe you're still sick. I haven't asked. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you're okay, because you got some questions to ask yourself. Blinded, and if you don't come on, I'll read them out for you. Maybe you will hear them. I don't know. Let me ask. Let me ask. Let me see if I can communicate to blinded through threads. Okay, while I wait for Degrassi, I'm gonna, I'm gonna send something to Blinded. Okay, so I just sent. So I told to Blinded to check Discord. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. Because I know you have some crashes asked Degrassi. Uh, and when Degrassi comes on, I'll tell him. But he might hear. Referring to Deadpool 3. Okay. But yeah, okay. Back to Venom 3. I have an article of the final film of the Venom trilogy. Tom freaking Hardy. Tom freaking Hardy. Because Tom Hardy is going to reprise his role as Bane in the James Gunn universe. Okay, I'm making that up. He's not going to become Bane again in the James Gunn universe. Okay. That's just I just did it as a joke. Okay, George will come in soon. But also, this is not just straight up Spider-Man. There's some other things I want to talk about too. Uh, okay, not just not just pop, but YouTube related stuff that Blinded wants to talk about too. That you mentioned to me. And all right. If he does come, let me check threads. Maybe he's still sick. So we'll see. Okay. I know. Okay. Hopefully, he still might be sick. So, all right. Back to this. I'm getting off track. I'm sorry. I apologize. All right. I apologize, guys. I apologize. Okay. So, title of article. You all can come on, guys, when you're ready. Thank you. Title article: Venom: The Last Dance rumored plot leaks claims to reveal the movie villains and plans for Peter Parker. And like I said, Peter Parker and the twist. No, not teenage Peter Parker, but a 10-year-old Peter Parker. 10-year-old, a 10-year-old kid, Peter Parker. Okay, okay. All right. Here's Degrassi.
What's up?
Degrassi?
What's going on?
Not much, man. You know.
I've been working on my Australian, and so I'm like working on the like Thedane. How many is it? Thedane. Trying to figure out where I'm going to go up or down. If I'm going to put all the emphasis on the first syllable, or all of the emphasis on the second syllable. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, it's just I just finished watching SmackDown. Got to get ready for tomorrow in the afternoon. Then I gotta prepare for actually I don't really have to prepare for Sunday night. I just gotta watch AEW. I'm not doing a live stream. I don't do that for AEW.
Why not?
Because I have to pay. You have to pay like $50 or $60 for it, and I don't want to do that. At least with WWE, I get the network. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
How do you get the WWE network in Canada? Do you get it through Peacock, or how do you get Peacock with the WWE?
No, we don't get Peacock in Canada. So we have Rogers. Rogers is it's like a big telecommunications company in Canada where it has internet. It does the internet, phone,
cable. They do
television, cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically the biggest one here. They own the Blue Jays, the sport. Basically, they own most of the sports teams here. So they have a deal with WWE, right? So they can show WWE Raw and SmackDown on the Rogers TV stations, right? Which is, they own a sports channel. They own a sports channel, so they just show on their sports channel, right? Raw and SmackDown. With the network, they made a deal with WWE in 2014 to have WWE Network and showcase their pay-per-views on the network through a channel, WWE cable channel. Rogers will have a channel dedicated for the WWE Network, or you could just go on demand too. So we have a channel and just the WWE on demand, or you could just log into WWE Network. But
hey, can you give me 1 second? I got to go help my wife, and then I'll be right back. But keep talking. I'm listening. Cool.
So the thing is, I don't know what the Netflix thing is. I don't know how that affects Canada, because we already have a deal. They already have a deal with Rogers right up here. So I don't know how that affects Canada. Okay, that affects Canada. The Netflix for Raw. So I don't know how that affects Canada. Whether you have, because they have a deal with Rogers. I don't know how long the contract with Rogers is. AEW has a deal with another big telecommunications network called Bell, which is second to Rogers, but that also owns a TV station called TSN. As for AEW in Canada is on TSN. We don't really get TNT or TBS anymore. We used to get TBS. We used to get TBS back in the day, but not anymore. When WCW, we used to get WCW. We used to get WCW on TBS back in the day. Not TNT. I don't think we get TNT, but we did get TBS. So we didn't get Thunder. No, we didn't get Nitro on TNT. We got Nitro on TSN because WCW had a deal with WCW back in the day. They sold Nitro on TSN, and also, but not Thunder because we got TBS in Canada at the time, so we were able to get Thunder for TBS. But that's all changed because of the different mergers with Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers had, I don't know, a bunch of mergers over the last 20 years. A lot of them. That's why with we don't get Peacock up here, but we do get some of the Peacock shows that are on Peacock. We just get them on on what they have a deal where they get in Canada. They have a deal where the what was it? Where do we get the Peacock? Where do we get Twisted Metal here? I forget. Um, but we do yeah. Peacock's basically the only American channel we don't get up here. We get Warner Brothers. We don't get HBO Max, but we got Crave TV, which has a deal with Warner Brothers. So basically, all the HBO Max stuff you guys have there is on Crave TV here. So we get all the Warner Brothers stuff here on Crave TV, or the HBO stuff. So we also get Netflix, obviously, Disney Plus, Paramount, Apple. What else? Amazon, obviously. I mean, like that's pretty much. I get Crave TV. I get HBO Max. I get Crave TV for free. So I basically get HBO Max for free. That's a good thing because if you have to buy if you buy Crave TV, it's like $20 a month here, Canadian. That's a lot of money. There's no way I would pay $20 a month. But yeah, that's basically how it works here. And I know the prices are going up here again. I know they're going up in the U.S. because obviously you have to. Yes, pretty much. That's pretty much how it works here. So yeah, so the Peacock stuff. What shows are on Peacock? Poker Face Canada. Let's see where Poker Face. Where do we get Poker Face on Canada TV? Oh, so we got Poker Face on Apple. Okay. So Twisted Metal Canada. Where do we get Twisted Metal Canada? What channel? Okay, yeah. So Twisted Metal we get on Paramount Plus instead of Peacock. Yeah. And I just found out Twisted Metal Season 2 is filming in Toronto this year. Pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, so Paramount Plus Canada. Yeah, Paramount Plus Canada we get Twisted Metal instead of Peacock because we don't get Peacock here. Okay, Blind says he'll be there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it works here. Yeah, we pretty much get everything you guys get. It's just different, right? Because of how Canadian TV is.
Yeah.
And sure, and it's like that in other countries too, right? So I can't tell you how it works in the UK. Finbar have a better idea of that. I can't tell you how it works in Australia. I just know here. Blind knows here. I don't know how WB is going to work up here with the Netflix because there might be a chance you could watch it on Netflix and on regular Canadian TV at the same time. We do that.
It wouldn't surprise me if they already have a previously existing deal that they just
do because
they just simulcast them on both.
We do because with Fox. I can watch Fox on two channels: the main Rogers Sports channel that they show it on, or on the Fox channel. So they do that. They do that here right now with Fox having SmackDown and the deal with Rogers having SmackDown. So the one on Rogers is actually a couple seconds ahead of Fox, but but yeah, they do that here. I'm sure they're gonna do that with Netflix. But I think
it may be blacked. It may be blacked out internationally.
Possibly, it's possible. I think when we discussed months ago on this with Finn, I don't know if Finbar was on, but DL was on it. Discussed how when Netflix got the rights to Monday Night Raw, I think everything like the network is gonna go to Netflix. I think, right? Netflix, they're gonna get the archives. Yeah. But not in the US until the Peacock deal is done.
Yeah. Okay.
which I think is 2026.
The regular deal doesn't start until 2025, right? With Netflix.
Yeah, January. Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe SmackDown is supposed to end in September, October. But USA decided, you know what, we'll have SmackDown on our channel for 2 more months. And then there we're done. We'll put back Raw. We'll have, because that's how it's gonna happen.
What's USA gonna do? Are they just
know.
gonna go back to what their
They have They're having
old days
SmackDown. They're SmackDown again.
So they'll have SmackDown. They'll have SmackDown continuously.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So SmackDown is going to have USA. CW is having NXT, and Netflix is having Raw. And this is really if you want to count wrestling as a sport, this is really the first major recurring sporting event. Netflix is a major streaming service is doing. Well, actually, no.
Where do the pay-per-views land? Where do the pay-per-views go? Do they go?
That's a good. They might still be. They're gonna stay on Peacock.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because everything will be archived on Peacock still for the Americans, right?
I gotcha.
Right, everything will be still archived until that deal's up. Then I think Netflix gets everything in 2026 or 2025.
I think Netflix is out of all the streamers, Netflix has figured out the live component, how to do stuff live, like the Brady roast, the John Mulaney show. Everybody's in LA.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot more live streaming. They have, and the Logan Paul Mike Tyson fight, not Logan, his brother.
The Jake Paul essential self-deleting video.
That fight. I mean, that fight, him and Mike Tyson. You know, that's going to get people watching.
I'm going to watch it. It's going to be hard to watch because, I mean, I wonder how long the delay will be because I seriously think dude's going to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, I hope not, but
I know Mike Tyson's almost like 60, right? He's like in his 50s. He could still still knock out Jake Paul.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. He's stripped of all ego, and
the thing is,
he's an even more dangerous man.
The streaming service have done sports live broadcasts. Like MLB has a deal with Apple to like live stream every Sunday, right? Every Friday.
Yeah.
The Apple's broadcast of baseball is terrible production. I'd rather watch it on TV.
Amazon has NFL, right? And
Amazon's getting NFL, and they're getting basketball. Some basketball.
Yeah.
As you know, the new deal, as you know, is happening with NBA. TNT has it for one more season, right? Next season will be the last, and then ESPN has it. Who else? ESPN, NBC, and Amazon is getting basketball.
We'll be talking to Charles. Charles ain't happy.
No,
I'm mad like Chuck.
No, because that's the best. That's the best. Those four are the best.
But what are we talking? Like what? 35 years? How long has that been going on?
I think like 20 years, maybe 20.
And by the way, I'm the real Last Dance, not Venom. I'm the real Last Dance. I'm the one that's likely having their last go around.
And as you know, Degrassi, you posted this about maybe an hour or two ago about Warner Brothers' negotiations with the NBA Silver. Silver is not particularly happy with Zaslav.
I wouldn't be happy with Zaslav either.
Billionaires aren't friendly. Multi-millionaires and billionaires typically aren't very friendly to each other.
And millionaires hate billionaires. It's so weird. Even the rich hate the rich. I hear in baseball all the time, and in sports all the time, when there's labor disputes, right? It's always the millionaires versus the billionaires, and all the people that are not millionaires would be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, was it Chris Rock who said he went to one of an NBA players? He was invited and attended an NBA player's child's birthday party, and
Oh,
the rest of this NBA team's roster was there, but he noticed that none of the players were speaking with each other. Everybody was coming up and talking to him, right?
really?
But nobody, but they weren't speaking
There
with
must be a
each
link.
other.
And the most ridiculous thing
I'm
right
not.
now being talked. The most ridiculous thing being right now that's not playoff related NBA is Bronny James' son being drafted possibly #1 in the draft. The guy averaged like 4 points in his freshman year. Like, what, are you kidding me?
Yo, everything's about Braun.
He doesn't
Yeah.
want his dad's
What about
number.
the young
He doesn't
talent
want his
that's
dad's
playing
number,
right
so
now?
nobody knows who he is. He wants a different number, so
Don't-
nobody recognizes him.
His son, I'm sorry. I know he had a heart issue and he collapsed. Right, he did collapse. But even before that, they said the scout said his son's most likely a second rounder at his best. Not everybody has their father's talent. Michael Jordan's son didn't amount to anything either, and he was.
When was the last time we had a pro basketball legacy?
Tim Hardaway has a pretty good son. Tim
Yeah,
Hardaway Jr. and Jr.
Yeah, Hardaway Jr. is pretty good. Not great.
Luke
Yeah.
but he's
Walton.
good.
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton's son was just kind of a decent role player. He's not a bad coach. Who was basketball? Ooh.
I mean, Kobe's dad played in the NBA, and Kobe turned out better than his dad.
That's true, much better. But like, if you're asking me who had if you're asking me who were both really good generation, like really good in the NBA, both father and son, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know I can name brothers, Marcus and Paul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
father's son, I don't know. I can name it
Lamangelo,
football. Football, I can name the
and
Mannings.
Arangelo.
Oh my goodness, yo,
The black ball.
Minnesota gives up this game. It's over.
And football, I can name a bunch of football. I mean, the Mannings, for example.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
You know what? I'm changing my pick. Dallas is gonna sweep the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
In baseball, there's a few too.
It's
baseball.
Joe
Yeah. Baseball has baseball. There's a few. I mean, you got obviously the Whipkins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luz. The Molinas. Well, they're not.
The
No, the
Griffeys.
Molinas are brothers. The Griffeys. Who else? Bonds. Barry Bonds' father was pretty good. So, Barry Bonds is good whether you think of him as a cheater or not. He's kind of a. I think he's a cheater, obviously, but he was always known as a jackass. But his legacy was pretty good. There's a few.
Oh, what about the Barrys? Like there was Rick Barry, Brent Barry.
Yes.
The Bonds.
Yeah.
Did you say
Here's
the Bonds? The Bonds.
Yeah.
The Bondses.
Here's blinded. We're just talking like we're just talking like not specifically sports legacies. We're talking about like the major NBA's shake up in the TV broadcast.
Which is devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? 2024 is a year for change. I mean, look, I'm the real Last Dance, not Venom. I'm the one who's most likely going to be leaving their job of 5 years pretty soon.
And this is a poor reflection on Zaslav because he butchered this. And I know that sports is not exactly your thing, blinded, but this does tie into a lot of things Zaslav has done as new head of DC. It's not DC, but Warner Brothers.
Right.
Right. But yeah, that's not what we're here for, man. Because it's fun talking about. Lion, we're gonna get your questions. Get a question you wanted to ask them. You want to get to it now? Then we can get to it. The article in the Discord. You wanted to ask them about the Deadpool. The Deadpool screen.
Well, I mean, because he made a comment, Degrassi made a comment on a particular stream. The Jarbo stream.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yes, I did watch the whole thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
The one where
All 3 hours?
The one where he
No.
pretended. The one where he pretends that he knows anything about comics.
Yeah, I'm still confused. I don't know what exactly he was trying to say.
I don't either. That's his MO. I guess it's the human equivalent of a denial of service attack. He just fucking blabbers and blabbers and blabbers
Right.
and repeats the same shit until you're like, what the fuck? Where am I? Who? What?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, also, I mean, I don't really understand what he was trying to
he just wanted
accomplish
to
there.
come in there and shit on RJ, and
That's what it seemed like.
and I like, and you see this a lot with fucking movie talk lolcows, you know,
Movie talk cows.
Culture vulture,
Yeah.
culture vulture, like the culture vulture lolcows, like Jarbo,
Right.
that pretend that like they fell off the fucking expert truck, you know, please, I could talk about anything, just give me a chance, you know.
What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? Did you?
You know, and just
That's funny.
like you don't. I think you gotta. There's a baseline.
Killing me, George. Holy.
You gotta have some knowledge. You know, just I'm not I'm no expert.
Your voice is
Right.
better.
But don't
Blind.
say like, I don't go to a comic shop because there aren't any around me. Look at the wall. Look at the wall. Okay, look at like. Have you looked at the fucking wall?
Oh, you showed
Yeah.
pictures on your X account. You were showing
I mean, the
pictures
thing
on
is,
wall.
like,
this is.
I wish I could
think-
explain how frequently I'm in these places.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one distinction I feel like should have been made. It's comics are accessible. It's just I think there's a perception that they aren't. And
Yes.
that might be a marketing thing. I think one of the biggest and this is something I kind of I wish someone would talk about is why didn't Marvel market the comics alongside the movies? That's something I never understood. Why they never did
Well,
that.
they did. There was a moment where there was a short. There was a short little like a trailer, like a short trailer teaser type deal, and then at some point they figured that just like
For
characters
which
based on
movie?
characters.
'Cause
I
if it
don't
was a while
remember.
ago, okay.
Yeah, and DC Warner Brothers had done it with DC.
Warner Brothers does
And
it
of
a
course-
lot. Yeah.
They think that,
Yeah.
and now I think that the general thinking is that it's enough that it says based on characters appearing in Marvel comics, and I think at one point that was enough to get people to, But with the DC's Finest initiative that starts in November, that they're kind of getting to the point with that, and there's talk of a new entertainment media joint venture between DC or between Warner Brothers Discovery and Disney that's going to try to somehow, I don't know, I guess for lack of a better phrase, save the comic book industry. And then that will build out into stuff like animation and
yeah, because I mean, I always we end up having these debates. I remember one time we had one on Tony's, and honestly, it was kind of obnoxious to me because it's like, I mean, I don't think they know what to do. I think the problem is a lot more complex than people make it out to be. I don't know how to fix it.
any perceived barrier to entry is kind of you got to put all those to aside to consider the one, if there is any barrier to entry to like standard weekly, just periodical comics, your floppies, your monthlies,
right?
It's price. They're simply too expensive.
Yeah, that's another thing.
There's just no value in them.
And people
the
get like
prices have gone up way too high.
Yes,
But
everything.
But to counter something like that, Marvel has their Epic collections, which I'm not sure what the price on those are, but you're getting a character, a team, and it doesn't necessarily focus on one story arc, but maybe a set of story arcs and an era, so you kind of get full continuities and
right. Also, I haven't bought a standalone comic in forever. Do they? I remember Marvel used to do this. Because I read most of the comics in trade, or sometimes digital. But physically, do they have that thing where you can buy it physically and also get the digital copy of it? Do they
I don't
still do
think that. I
that?
think some comics they pack digital codes in,
Okay, because I
but I don't.
remember
I'm
like
not.
was that like 2012? Like
Yeah, it
around
was.
Marvel now, they used to do
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yep, yeah. DC did it too. DC would bag. There would be a bagged version of their
Yeah,
books, and there would be a code in there.
but then
But
also
no, but you
the
can still get.
subscription
Yeah,
services
you can
that
get
they
a.
have.
You can Midtown Comics here, at least in the U.S., is the one of the biggest that does mail subscriptions through the mail, like old school, like you
Right.
used to do.
Yes.
And the discounts are pretty substantial. So you're not going to be paying full price, much like going to a comic store. You know, if you subscribe, you get a discount. And then now the discounts are progressive. They get the more you buy, the more you get. Your discount increases up to of course, there's a maximum, but
Right.
you can, it's basically a 2-for-1 deal now. You could get 5 or 6 comics for $5, but those days are long gone. So, but
I mean,
with like DC's finest start in November, and they are trade paperback collections of again, like there's a Batman that's got year 1 and year 2 in it.
right.
Those issues of Batman and Detective, and then they're firing a whole bunch of them out, and they're 35 to they're like $30 or $40 depending on the issue counts in them.
Right.
But you're roughly going to be paying about $1 an issue, and that's before the discount. So you're looking at 30 to 40 comics, $30 to $40, a complete story, 2 or 3 even. And there's going to be, I don't know, maybe 4 every month or 2, 4 or 6 every month or 2 from here on out, starting in November. And I'll be buying a few of those just because. Yeah.
Right. 'Cause also, there was that rumor, because this is what I think could potentially, like, I don't. Let me just phrase it. I guess DC is rumored to do an Ultimate Universe as well. Like in that vein.
And the fall after this event, the absolute power event.
Yeah, like I don't know how that's gonna work exactly, but I do think having a easy, or I don't know, a gateway continuity where you can only follow one. It's weird because it's like that is kind of what the comics are already doing, but I think they really need to change the perception. And also, I don't know, like kids aren't really that into the comics.
No.
And that was the debate that we were having, where it's like I keep telling them, I'm like, hey, I don't think the kids are going to really change. If you're talking about my generation and significantly younger, the thing they're going to gravitate toward is either video games or, I mean, the manga, it's just sort of, it's one story. It's kind of like comics. I mean, it is comics. It's just
it is comics.
There's no it's not like Marvel and DC where there's a continuity where there's all these characters and history. It's just sort of one story in its own universe, and you buy issue to issue. So I mean, the thing is, that's not what Marvel and DC does. It's not like you're gonna have a separate continuity for every single character.
You would say the success of the MCU would make people want to buy the Marvel comics.
Yeah,
you would think so. DC's tried that.
Yes.
DC's tried it more than once to have I guess, for lack of a better term, an ultimate line of comics. They tried it with the All-Star line. They tried it with the Earth One the Earth One books.
Yeah.
I can't. It's hard. It gets harder and harder for me the older I get to use the words graphic novel.
I mean, I would say those are graphic novels. It's just they had volumes and
it's a comic book. It's a comic book collection.
Yeah.
A collection of it's collected story. I know those were written as one
And
piece.
some people may not want to
Right.
buy the issues; they'll just wait for the graphic novel.
Yeah,
well, the graphic novels
I've always called them
was
trade paperbacks.
yeah, the graphic novel I think was like a rebranding of comics, no, to
Well, it
mature
was
it.
no. I mean, no, not necessarily. Like
Okay.
I think the first time I saw it was it the Hunger Dogs? It was a DC Jack Kirby book about Darkseid, about Apocalypse, called The Hunger Dogs. I think that was the first time I saw DC use the term. And then Marvel might have used it first. I can't recall precisely, but I think Marvel might have used it first in an Epic Illustrated. Like they collected a story out of Epic Illustrated into its own volume and used the term graphic novel for it. I think that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not looking anything up, but I'm recalling. I think
Marvel just had a lucky buyer at the right time when Disney swooped in.
Well, I think Marvel was going to get bought up regardless.
Yeah, but
I mean, I
Disney.
don't
Lucky it was
remember how
Disney.
that went down.
Lucky. I mean, with Disney swooping in and buying Marvel, that
Everybody thinks it was a bad move, but I don't.
No, yeah.
It just is what it is. But this whole Venom deal's a
Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this plot leak?
Yes, RJ told me.
I remember hearing about this like I think last year. Like that was
yeah. It's
this
been
was
out.
So we're gonna get Peter Parker in Venom 3 as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Sony gonna Sony. Well, wait, isn't this the same company that thinks people are gonna rewatch Craven during the holiday season?
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I get the line of thinking, but are people gonna want to watch trash?
Oh, I don't. I don't get it at all. Even if the movie's good, I don't think that's a movie that you put out in for the holiday.
Because they want.
Look at this. I hate
this.
This
is their line of thinking, right? Repeat viewing. People are gonna go watch this movie multiple times if it's good, but if it's bad, like it's just like no one's gonna go see it.
Yo,
How old is Peter Parker and Craven?
What?
Is like
I don't
get this.
I don't know who's more delusional, Laker fans or Sony.
Oh
Well,
my
the thing
God,
is, if you read Tom Rothman's interview from last week, Tom Rothman gave an interview at Cannes, and
it says here,
he hasn't made that much sense in a long time, and he's running the show there right now.
Look at this.
Wait, didn't Tom? Wait, hold on. Was that interview where? Who said this recently about cutting the ticket prices? Was that Tom Rothman who said that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at this stupid.
Cutting ticket prices, cutting budgets, cutting top of the line salaries.
Right.
Look at this.
Cutting advertising budgets, cutting everything. There's no reason for everything to cost as much as it does, and that's kind of starting to catch on everywhere.
And it says Venom set to kill a 10-year-old Peter Parker in an effort to avoid suffering the same fate as many of his multiversal variants, death at the hands of Spider-Man, which would tie into the post-credit scenes of both Venom sequel and Spider-Man No Way Home. No, that's not what happened. That one paragraph is so stupid. Why would Spider-Man would not kill Venom? Doesn't make sense.
Because that's the story. I think is Venom is either tricking Eddie. I think it's for us. We're supposed to know that he's tricking him, right?
Which Venom story is this one primarily based on? I can't remember, and it's a specific story arc or
is this
one shot or something that this is kind of based on.
So if that's the
case,
at
least like the bones of it, at least.
If that's the case, what's the top? Okay, when they said the end credit scene is the Venom sequel, right? Spider-Man. That's the case. That's symbiote. That would have to find whatever Eddie Brock or maybe like Flash Thompson or maybe somebody else in next 6 months. That means that would mean that Tom Holland Spider-Man would have to kill that Venom.
Yeah.
See, this is Sonya's problem. Like, what?
Hello.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Sony's.
sense.
I don't know. Like for me, is it because they have. It's not like Marvel isn't involved in this in some capacity. They still own Venom. Like it's not like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still have an interest. They still have an interest in the character. They still have a prevailing interest in the character and the IP. And I don't know. It's just like they're kind of letting it happen, and something doesn't smell right to me. But
yeah, why? There is some
kid?
confusion with this with Venom. Well, how come the movies did what 800 million? What did the first one do?
Well,
the first one was 700, 750.
700. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a Thor tier character in terms of the box office and what it's making. How come Disney doesn't really push a lot of Venom merchandise? I don't see a lot of Venom merchandise.
Well, I mean, there's a Venom related character in nearly every. There's one or two Venom like Marvel Legends figures a year. There's a lot of statues, PVC statues, and cold cast resin There's a lot of Venom.
Still gonna have
a lot of high end Venom merch.
We're gonna have a bunch of
like it's kind of weird that they never like I didn't understand what was the whole point of bringing Venom into the MCU and then getting rid of him in the next following movie. Well, that was totally bizarre.
If I'm not mistaken, the Marvel solicitations.
They trolled us.
I just got the Marvel solicitations for the comics, and there's a push in August through October for Venom. There's a whole Venom month, I think.
Right. So, I mean, the comics did go pretty. Like they had the Venom verse and all that stuff.
This doesn't make sense.
Like I would have thought they would have try to do something with the Venom movies, like try to make it a MCU co-production or something, instead of just letting Sony do whatever they want.
Well, there's a new deal. There's a new deal, and I think they're probably waiting until San Diego if they're going to announce it. And if it's indeed true that Lord Miller, if it's indeed true that Lord Miller, if it's true that Lord Miller got movies. They've had TV since 2019, live action TV since 2019. That's where all these shows have spun out of. But now it's being said that they have movies too. And if that's the case,
we're gonna have Toxin, a new group of symbiotes, and we're gonna have the Jury. We're supposed to be like anti-symbiote vigilante group, right? That's like Toxin. Yeah, I forgot about Toxin. I forgot about that. And that lead detective, whatever, was becoming Toxin. I forgot about that. We have a new group of symbiotes, and Peter Judo Temple is going to play like Lieutenant Patricia Robertson. I guess not in relation to Robbie Robertson. And we got Chira. How do I say his name? Man, I don't want to butcher his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Okay, so he's the one supposed to lead the jury, right? He's the one supposed to lead the jury. I think that's why we're read in another thing. He's supposed to lead the jury, and he's going to take on the role of Aura Taylor, the son of one of Carnage's victims. I'm like, really? Was there a victim that was like, that was a standout in Carnage? Was there really a standout victim in Carnage?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what happened in those two movies. I don't remember Michelle Williams turned into a Venom, right? And then Woody Harrelson turned into Carnage.
Do we even want to remember?
I didn't mind that movie. It was like schlock.
I can't get Furiosa out of my head. Literally every.
Oh, I'm seeing that tomorrow. I can't wait.
but every set piece and then every big deep breath it takes after every set piece, I can't get them out of my head. So, but Venom, I can't remember. I couldn't tell you a scene from it.
No, I mean, I
just remember
the
thinking some of the banter,
scene.
some of the banter between Eddie and Venom was kind of funny, cheeky and funny, you know.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Now, we can't help but wonder whether this 10-year-old Peter is meant to be the same variant as the baby we met. Well, we didn't meet the baby in Madame Reb. It wasn't birthed. She didn't have the child yet, at least until the plan flaw. They said Madame Reb was a standalone film and not even in the same universe.
Yeah, but yet they have like this younger Peter Parker in this movie. Like,
yeah, there's a whole mess of Venom books in what is this, August?
See, they even made it sound dumb for a Sony movie.
Yeah, August.
Sounds dumb. They even said it sounds dumb for Venom movie.
Peter's getting the symbiote back in August in the comics. But they're doing Ultraman Avengers, so that'll probably be the last comic I'll ever need to read.
I mean, this is really, really bad.
Yeah, Venom War. We've got Venom War, 1 of 5.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's the same. The director is the same writer of the first 2 movies, right? It's the first-time director.
6.
Yeah.
7.
When Venom
7 Venom books. 7 Venom books in August.
7 Venom books. When Venom recognized Spider-Man when he went to Tom Holland's universe, that Spider-Man in every universe kills us, defeats us.
Yeah, well, and that is the plot of this movie, though.
Yeah, but he didn't act like that when he went to the universe. He acted, oh yeah, this guy is a criminal. We must go after him. He didn't act like, oh yeah, this is. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I don't know.
I couldn't. If I could, I don't think I can care any less.
Look, it's like Morbius. Morbius is like, okay, we'll teams up to Vulture, goes after Spider-Man. Like, what does Morbius have against Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's just dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want to talk about it.
Michael Keaton.
This is just
Michael Keaton
shit.
Probably like, oh yeah, Michael Keaton probably was like, yeah, just paid me a lot of money just to do that. I didn't care.
I say, despite knowing what I know about the short shoot and all the talk of Keaton's couldn't give a care attitude on that Beetlejuice 2 shoot, man, that new trailer is pretty great.
It looks really good.
So maybe the super short, like guerrilla style shoot and his can't give a care attitude will be what makes it good. You know what I mean?
I did like the trailer, but I could kind of see that he didn't care.
Yeah.
But see, that's what I'm saying is that might be what. Maybe that was his technique for this or something.
The thing
maybe he was just kind of like.
If he doesn't care, but he makes it look like he does.
Yeah, like that whole bit at the Oscars that he did with Arnold and DeVito. That
that's a talent. There's some actors and actresses who sometimes look like they're phoning in, right? But Jim doesn't know what they're phoning in then because they're so good at making people believe they're not really don't care. And there's some that can't do it, like Jennifer Lawrence, for example.
Yeah, Keaton's got this special talent where it's like he doesn't seem like he cares during interviews, but like when he's like filming, it's like he puts in 100% of the work.
You know who's like that too? Harrison Ford.
Yeah, like Harrison Ford.
I don't think they do anymore. I think they don't give a shit. I think they're both so
they're too old to care.
Harrison Ford's like 80 years old.
Not necessarily be their ages. It's just their experience. Even before their level of experience.
He got old. Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to die earlier on.
Harrison Ford
never cared. The only character he ever really cared about was really Indiana Jones.
Yes, he did.
Well, he did say he liked Blade Runner. So
he cared about Indiana Jones so much. He said, "I'll do it again. If you want me to be Han Solo, you got to give me one more Indiana Jones movie."
I never thought I would see Harrison Ford on a limited on an Apple TV show. Seriously,
But
I
it's
never
like
thought.
there are certain people that Harrison Ford will put the effort in. Like the kid that played Short Round, I can't say his name. Like whenever he sees him, he looks genuinely happy, genuinely
Yeah,
happy.
Ki Hu Kwan.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah,
he looks like he looks at him as if like he's found his long lost son.
what every that Michelle Yeoh movie rejuvenated that guy's career because he
Yeah,
put him back in the spotlight. I don't know
yeah.
where. He,
Well, I think he stopped acting, right?
and then
yeah,
he
he was
came
in.
back
We
because it
knew
was
him
hard for him to
from.
find acting jobs.
Yeah, because they knew him as Short Round and the kid from Goonies, right? Because he's also in Goonies.
Right.
All right.
He was Data in Goonies.
Yes, he was.
That was
Um,
his name in Goonies.
I kind of want to
Data.
see him. I kind of want to see him like a small cameo in '95, but that's of course not that didn't happen. But that would have been good to see what he was up to. Like I want to know what he's up to since Temple of Doom, even though it's a prequel to
I mean,
there's
I feel like Indiana Jones, like there's certain characters that'd be interesting to see a spin-off off of. Not Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Well,
She's
that's who it
chaos
would
walking.
be. But she's really not, though. That's the thing, is that everybody thinks that she's the devil. And if
Not
you
the
knew
devil, but it's just like it
she's
felt like the way she was portrayed was chaos walking. I'm not saying that was the
she's
intent.
the
But I mean, in that
yeah,
movie, what? I mean,
she's
why would
written,
you do
she's
a spin-off
ghostwritten
movie
and
with her
punched up
character?
so many scripts for movies that you've watched and enjoyed that
well, she's not really. She's not a relic hunter. She's just. She was just trying to. She was just doing
But
what
she
her
was
father. She
supposed
was
to
just
be she was supposed to be like Indiana Jones, and then she realized that whole perception was what she thought was him. It's not
yeah.
necessarily true.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't see the point of doing another
Indiana
spin-off
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
character.
either. I think it should
They're
just
not going
die.
to do a spin-off. They're not going to
Just
do
let
a
it
spin-off of
go.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, just let it go. That
I think.
character was there for that story. I don't think
Oh,
Let
they
it
will. They'll back
go.
it.
Let it
Just give it
go.
enough time.
We'll bring back Shia LaBeouf. Oh wait, he's dead.
Everybody
Well, they
likes
can
to
bring him back.
pretend that
no.
the
Well,
Universal
They can bring him back from the
Universal
dead.
would
It's
never
Indiana.
make Back to the Universal
They
would
can
never
bring-
make Back to the Future 4.
They
Oh,
can
you
bring-
don't think? The
They can
well,
Bobs
bring
they
Shia
would never
LaBeouf
allow
will
back.
that.
eventually.
No,
They
when
can bring
Robert
Shia
Bobs,
LaBeouf
Zemeckis.
Bobs would
back from
never
the
allow
dead.
that. Let me tell you what, the Bobs don't have anything to say
They-
about it. The
And Indiana
Bobs are going
Jones.
to be dead.
Yeah.
Indiana
When
Jones
they're dead,
6.
they'll make it.
Indiana Jones 6.
Oh, no, it'll be
Bring
before
Shia
that.
LaBeouf back from the dead. Have him come back from the dead. Like, because this is Indiana Jones, man. They always used to do this. They always used to do the mystical, supernatural stuff. You can bring Shia LaBeouf come back
Hold
from
on.
the dead.
I'm also pretty sure
Well,
in the
Shia LaBeouf is canceled, so I don't think he's coming
Well,
back.
I'm also pretty sure in the
Actually, I
Transformers
don't think
movies,
he
He's in
is.
his
Megalopolis.
character was killed off in the
Well, I
Transformers
think
movies
that's
off screen.
was the point of that movie, though. That may be the point.
Well,
No,
We'll
he's
have to
like
see.
he's like
I'll have to
driver
watch it
supernatural,
myself
isn't
and see, but um,
I don't know. These
from
last Sony
from
movies.
like because there's a script of that movie that's floating around, so it's
but
old,
it's
obviously.
changed. Yeah, it's changed.
But
Claudio-
given this what's in the script, some of the stuff is kind of relevant today, especially
Well,
the
yeah,
whole
it
like
always is.
artists, the like do you
artist
well,
artist versus politician.
not the artist versus politician, do you what's that? People have this. We were just talking about this. Why can't I say it? Oh my god. Separating the art from the artist. There we go. Whew,
Mhm.
I don't know why that's what the script was about the main character and something he does that he's accused of, even though it's not true, and even though he's like, is he like some famous architect or something? I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
he's an
but-
architect. And he's trying to rebuild New Rome after its destruction.
Right. So that's why I feel like that element is very contemporary, like it's very relevant. And it makes sense that, Shia LaBeouf and there's some other problematic actors in that movie. So, you know, that's my guess that they kept that element. It's kind of
yeah,
meta, I guess.
a lot of people are probably not going to be happy with John Voight being in it because,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, too bad. Like seriously, I'm like, Sorry, like
That's what I'm saying. That's the point of the movie, though. That may be the point of the movie. So, yeah, but else, and on top of that too, this movie was, I mean, it's financed completely by Coppola. So, I'm curious to see it myself. I really want to see it.
This is his first movie in over a decade.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, but those his last few movies weren't great either. So
no, yeah, but I mean, he says he's gonna make another movie, but let's be honest, I don't think he will. Given how long he takes to make, he's in his 80s.
Yeah, they're all in their 80s. George Miller,
he's
Ridley
85.
Scott,
but I feel like
if he plans to make another movie, he better get on it now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I wanted Ridley Scott to stop making movies after The Martian.
Yeah, but he's a totally different animal. Coppola is like notorious for just like dragging his feet and really wanting his vision, and that's prevented him from making a lot of stuff. I mean, that's kind of almost ruined his career.
Coppola's last good movie was probably Dracula, and people hate that movie, but I love it.
Yeah.
30.
Well, that's his last movie was what, 2011? What was that called?
11. Yo, Aaron.
Was it Twixt or Tetra?
I think it was
Twixt and Tetro, and those movies weren't good.
No, they weren't good, but yeah.
Yo, Aaron, I think the Monstars took Anthony Edwards' talent. He keeps making dumb decisions and dumb plays.
Yeah. It's made like Francis made a lot of. I think that with Francis, I think the time's passed him by.
Well, here's the thing. What's different about Francis Ford Coppola from Scorsese and Scott is like they make movies at least every few years.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe the Rainmaker was watchable just because it had a great cast.
Right.
So, but yeah, Dracula, then the Rainmaker, but in between and
I like this Dracula movie.
I think the difference is there's some artists who like are kind of don't care as much. They just want to make stuff and they will continue to make stuff. And then there's ones where it's almost like the thing that they're making is very personal to them, and it takes a very long time to make. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's interesting with Coppola though, because it's like some of his oh my God, Apocalypse Now, that was almost directed by George Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Right? It was almost a mockumentary. Like a fake documentary about the Vietnam War.
It was going to be a totally different movie.
Yeah, black and white, fake documentary, and then what? Actually, some of the stuff that they wrote, some of the stuff that Lucas and Coppola wrote, actually ended up in Star Wars. So just like as far as like plot points and setups and stuff,
right?
So. Kind of crazy.
I mean the story, like George Lucas and Coppola to me are very similar, and then in comparison to like Spielberg and Scorsese, where they just pump out movies like nonstop. The other two, they kind of, I don't know, they drag their feet. I understand why they drag their feet. Maybe I can kind of relate to that, where it's like, yeah, you kind of want your vision on something, and you're not going to budge, and then it's like it's just going to take a very long time. But other people, they don't really care as much. They just want to make the best thing, and if it doesn't go great, then we move on to the next one. But yeah, I don't know. People are still going to talk about those four. I mean, some people don't. Some people always miss what's his name.
What's his name? He always seems
what's his name? What's his name? What's his name?
I'm looking at
what's his name?
I'm blanking on his name. He was very like, what did he make? Why can't I say his name? Why can't I say his name? It's let me just type it.
We got Spielberg, Scorsese, Lucas, Coppola, De Palma.
De Palma, there we go. I don't know why I was struggling to get
John
I
Milius.
remember him.
De Palma is
Again,
probably
another
my
guy who's
favorite.
made
I love
some of my favorite
Blowout.
movies, man. I've got friends that have worked with him, and I've got friends that have been in his movies, and yeah, I even his bad movies are good. That's just how I feel about somebody like De Palma, you know.
But his, I don't know, his visuals were so like unique, and they still like hold up. Where you're like, no one. I don't think like has emulated the style that he presented. Is I don't know, but
no, not really, because he's very Hitchcocky, and he has a very Hitchcockian vibe in most of all of his work. So yeah, I'm looking at this date for Spielberg's next movie, right? Which puts it right in between. Right? Yeah, it's a UFO movie, right?
Yes.
It's Universal in Amblin.
Yeah, what was the pitch for that? Was it
ET2?
It's all it is. Don't joke about that.
ET2.
All it is.
ET2 strikes.
All it is a new original event film for May 15th, 2026, which puts it right between Kang Dynasty and the new Jurassic World, right?
Right. Spielberg has said he will probably never make it.
Or Degrassi. Not called Kang Dynasty.
No, I mean they weren't when they were joking about ET2 on the Colbert Report. They weren't really joking.
No, wait, what? Wait, but then hold on, wait. When was that? I'm curious.
It's been in the last 6 to 12 months. It hasn't been long at all. Maybe when the Fablemans came out.
Okay.
Yeah, last year.
Because I remember that whole story about ET2 and how Spielberg made a script that was bullshit, and he gave it to the executives, and they were like, "Holy shit, it was so bad that they didn't want to make the movie."
Yeah, the scary ET movie, like the evil ETs.
I think he did it on purpose as a joke. I don't think.
That was that was the whole point of that script.
He did the same. He did the same. Well, I mean, when they asked him what he would do if he did another Jaws, and he's like, "You'll never make another. If I did Jaws 2, you'd never make Jaws 3."
You see how ridiculous Jaws got after second one, 3 and 4?
Well, it was going to get even more ridiculous after the second one, because the third one was.
I can't believe Michael Keaton signed off for Jaws 4.
Maddie Simmons, after Jaws 2, Maddie Simmons, the editor of National and executive producer of the National Lampoon movies, hired one of the head and Universal Pictures, Zanuck and Brown hired John Hughes, the John Hughes, who was at that time writing for National Lampoon magazine, to write a screenplay that was eventually it was called Jaws 3, People Zero. And it was John Hughes and I want to say Lowell Gans maybe, or Babalu Mandel, one of those comedy writers, legendary comedy movie writers, and Joe Dante was going to direct it. And it got like into, I think there's a new documentary about it, but it got into, I want to say like they were just days or weeks from starting to film.
Right.
I can't say who was cast in it, but that died quickly. And then we got Jaws 3D instead.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Can't believe Michael Caine signed off for Jaws 4.
What Michael Caine said that people, what did he say? I've got that video on YouTube, that short on YouTube, where he says, people ask me, I've seen Jaws 4. Well, that was quite awful. Yes, I haven't seen it, but I have seen the house I built my mother, and it's quite lovely.
I think I remember that quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
funny one.
So yeah, I mean he made a lot of really fucking bad movies. He's been in a lot of awful movies.
Yes,
but again, like a movie like The Swarm, the Irwin Allen movie, The Swarm. It's about a swarm of killer bees. It's like a disaster late 70s disaster movie.
Yes,
had me convinced as a child that the world was going to end. We were all going to die through killer bee swarms.
Did he do a movie where he's like psychic or something, or
he did a movie called The Hand, where he loses his hand, and then his hand his hand comes after him.
Jeez.
Oh, what's that? Isn't that? They didn't do a remake called Idle Hand.
No, The Hand is an Oliver Stone movie. No, Idle Hands was different. But no, this is actually about a hand that attacks its that comes back to attack its owner, its previous owner.
I'm pretty sure he did another movie where he might have been psychic or like he could see visions. I don't know. Something like
see, he was a crazed John in Dressed to Kill.
Yeah.
He's been in so many good movies, and
he's one of those actors. He's one of those actors as he gets closer to retirement, and he said, "You know what? I'll just do it for the paycheck."
Oh, he's done. He's already. Yeah. He said he just recently said he's retired.
Yeah, so, but as he was doing films, getting close to retirement, he was just doing it for the paycheck. So he was doing a lot of films like Willie. You sign up for this, and he was phoning it in as soon as he got to retirement. He was phoning his last.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, he was clearly phoning in. His worst.
He was a great Alfred.
Yes, he was great Alfred. Agree there. He phoned in The Last Witch Hunter. I mean, that movie's horrible. I mean, Vin Diesel. He was definitely phoning it there. He was good in that. He was good in Austin Powers 3 as the father.
Oh yeah, who else were you going to get for that?
Yeah, he's a good actor, but yeah, he's done a lot of bad stuff. But he was clearly phoning. I mean, as he gets older, right? You could phone it in. I mean, if you're a successful
if you're just going to stand there and be old guy, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. You could, as you're a successful old guy, you could be typecast as the old guy. Because Harrison Ford, if you really notice this, he's a great actor, but he mostly plays a grumpy, cranky character.
We have fewer and fewer of those guys, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. He plays a lot of stubborn characters, right? Indiana Jones, stubborn. Han Solo, stubborn. Plays a lot of, he plays a lot of his characters he plays are very similar in terms of personality.
Well, like Ryan Reynolds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that's what he was talking about, the screening thing. Blinded.
Oh yeah, the people that they didn't know what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't been able to follow up, so I don't know.
Was it like a negative? Was it a mixed perception? Like what?
Mixed,
that's what
right?
I mean.
That's the thing is that typically when people are coming out of a movie screening like that, right? If they've been chosen at a comic book store, let's say, right?
Right.
Not necessarily handpicked, but let's say they were. And usually for movies like that, you'll have there's typically people are pretty amped up about it, and he says that they really weren't. It didn't seem that they were. Maybe they were, I don't know, confused, or something happens at the end that
confused them,
or just kind of knocked them over the head. I don't know.
Right.
I can't really. I can't.
I was gonna say sorry. No, you can go. Sorry.
No, we don't. Go ahead.
Because I was gonna say that in comparison to a lot of other MCU movies, I noticed there's not been a lot of leaks leading up to this movie, like the release of it, which is weird. Like it's been kind of quiet, like on the subreddit,
because they filmed so much shit, and they're not done yet.
Right.
That somebody could explain the movie to you right now, right?
It could be different when the film comes out.
And we could even go so far as to read a copy of, quote, the shooting script, right?
Yeah.
And it won't be the same movie. Yeah, the basic structure is there, right?
Just the way how it's filmed.
But yeah, they can. It's crazy now. I want whether it be. You need to see Furiosa first, and I'll put the link on my Twitter. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You won't see it. I'll have Aaron send it to you or something.
Yeah. Also,
But there's a video on YouTube. It's a kid who he broke down the production of Furiosa in like less than 12 minutes, and he did it brilliantly. Right.
Also, Blinded, you posted stuff in Discord that I'm like, who?
Who was what?
Referring to Taylor Swift. That rumor, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah. I think that was from Daniel RPK.
Johansson, Blonde Phantom.
Yeah, Degrassi. Yeah. So, did you hear about this rumor of Taylor Swift not possibly being not Lady Deadpool, but possibly getting her own MCU, possibly signing up for MCU as her lead role?
Yeah,
but
I think you just said the name.
The
Blonde Phantom.
Heard of.
Yes, the Blonde Phantom.
That's the project that Scarlett Johansson's producing.
But nobody knows that character. Like, that's a problem.
And it's like set in the 50s. I don't know anything about the character,
Dazzler,
but isn't she isn't she a She-Hulk psychic? Something like that?
May have been at some point. Yeah.
Because
I know nothing about this character.
Just
so
make her
I was
Dazzler.
Like,
that's all you gotta do. Just make her Dazzler.
But see, that's the thing is there's going to be a whole fucking Dazzler month of comic book. Dazzler's going to be everybody's going to have a Dazzler cover in August or September or whenever, right?
I'm telling you right now, if they go
nobody. It's been 45 years.
I'm telling you,
no one has ever cared about Dazzler. And you can put Taylor Swift in a Dazzler costume. You can have them run across it. They go through one of Wong's portals across the stage in one universe, and on the other side of the stage, they go through another portal to another universe, and have her as Dazzler on stage for 5 minutes, and it's not gonna move the needle either way.
Well, it may move it. Blonde Phantom's not gonna move the needle either.
I don't even know.
Do you really think that that's a Blonde Phantom movie?
No.
Or series or whatever? Is it a movie or is it a series?
I think it's a movie.
It says a series, a rumor.
Yes. You really think Taylor Swift's going to do a Disney Plus or an ABC series?
No. I mean, she's not even a good actor, so I would say no.
I don't know what she's acted in, honestly.
She's been in a lot of bad stuff.
Maybe she does. Maybe she'll do the music for it. I don't know, but there's just
that makes more sense.
It's like a lot of this shit, these rumors, man, and it's been since Doctor Strange. Even there's always been this just deluge of bullshit around ever since I can remember, right? Star Wars was pretty much there was always movie talk and rumors and shit, and they were in the newspapers and magazines. With that, I recommend everybody just do a little bit of not a deep dive, but just give. I wouldn't recommend using Google anymore to search for anything.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's over. It's over. Like I would.
They got to remove that quick.
No, it's over. I'm taking Chrome off of all of my stuff, and I'll probably just be using Microsoft Edge and Bing.
Yeah, I don't. This whole AI thing is getting.
And now there's so apparently Gen Z and whatever comes after them,
right?
Has the eye for spotting bullshit AI anything, right?
The worst generation,
and they're apparently repulsed by it, right?
Yeah.
And they're calling AI art boomer art, and
already.
Yeah.
Boomer art.
Yeah. Anything that looks like AI
guarantee you, Gen Z are going to be the ones using a lot of AI art as they get older.
But it might.
Boomer art is probably the better art, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's boomer doesn't really mean what it means.
That's the thing about Gen Z. Gen Z people in the Gen Z age range are not that smart.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think the companies pushing the AI are stupid. I keep saying this. The tool itself, I don't have a problem with. I have a problem with how it's being used and what it's going to be used for. It's a tool. That's how I see it. Because also too, some people are like confusing things because there's been tools. I mean, I'm using Photoshop right now. Photoshop has had AI tools for quite some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just not called
they're
AI,
really
right?
They're just really old applications with a new coat of paint and
right.
It's
like
just
it's
bigger,
doing a
better,
little bit
faster,
more.
Yeah, bigger, better,
Yeah.
faster, more, and that's just Moore's law. That's how technology works.
Right.
You know,
I see its benefits and where it can be used effectively, but when everybody's pushing it, and the thing is, it's never specified or shown how it can be useful. I think people will just continue to be like, "Oh, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad." And I mean, in some cases, I think maybe it's good, and then because then it can be regulated, and the
remember
government might do something, or the corporations will
the
do something. But
as with every
Well,
new technology, as with
here's the
yeah,
problem.
every new
The
technology
problem.
we get.
The AI's got the worst cheerleaders. I mean, if your leading cheerleader is the person that we were talking about earlier on,
yeah,
then
Chat,
yeah, no one's
Chat
gonna take
Jarbot.
AI seriously. Yeah, no, because like he's like the biggest cheerleader for it, but it's like he does it so poorly. He can't even like defend AI in a correct way.
Not been the biggest detractor of AI.
oh man,
The like with any new technology we get, whether it's film, home video, internet, streaming,
right.
the pioneers, the true pioneers in artificial intelligence will be the pornographers.
At this
Um,
rate, yeah, it
no, I
is.
mean
Oh my God.
it's look at who were the pioneers of literally every industry that I just who
Yeah,
when we got the internet, the pioneers in pardon me, the pioneers in digital transmission of video, right? A
mhm,
lot the pioneers in the digital transmission of live video were pornographers.
yeah,
Home video didn't take home video wasn't when they saw how much money could be made in the home video market. It was because of pornography, and when the movie studios saw that, they put their fight against home video. You guys knew that, right? That the movie studios actually went to court and to Congress and to the Supreme Court to try to stop basically themselves from licensing out content to home video producers. Because the studios weren't the first company to put movies on video cassette for home exhibition. There were
right,
companies that did that for the studios.
right.
Right. Yeah. So no, we
Well,
don't.
that
What they
seems
did was
like
they didn't want you. They didn't want you recording their stuff off of the television.
Of course
Right.
And
not.
then it became well, if you record a TV show, you can watch it later and fast forward through the commercials. Now we can't have that now.
Right,
They did it with cassette tapes, and when home audio recording became a thing, when you could record off of the radio. I'm old enough to remember where I'd have to hold a tape recorder up to the radio because there wasn't a single unit where you could record off of the radio in a single unit.
right.
So we've always had this problem with copyright and how to stop, and they'll never be able to stop it.
No, yeah, that seems like a tale as old as time at this point,
It
which is
is.
crazy.
It is. Movies, television, music, comic books, you name it. If people can find a way to get it to other people for free, they will. It's
Yes, yes. Yes, that's true.
there's just there. I mean, it's just crazy how the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's quite literally just
Yeah.
like the Matrix, just resetting over and over again. It's just a different set of circumstances each time, just a different iteration of the same bullshit.
Yeah.
So not exactly entertainment related, but that's Rikita Law, man.
Yeah, Nick Rekieta.
Yeah, Nick Rikita, yeah.
I call him Dickie Ricketts, fake internet player.
It's
If I ever had basically a character based on him.
So him and his wife were getting charged for drug possession.
and their friend
And their live-in side dime, their live-in girlfriend.
Living girlfriend.
Yeah, and she's
Wait a
married
minute!
to that guy. I don't know his show. I heard people talking about it. I don't really.
Yeah,
know.
I just discovered it today.
Steel Toe.
I heard
radio or
read
something.
I read the charges not just drug possession.
Because they had some drama too. That's the only thing I know about them.
Yeah,
I don't
did
know
you
about
see
the drama.
his court appearance this morning?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
You can watch his. Oh, he's going. I mean, he'll plead out, but man, he's gonna
His kids.
I can't wait till he
Yeah.
finds
His
Jesus and
kids.
starts snitching on all the other geeks and
His
gamers.
kids. His kids.
That's a
His
good
kids.
one.
His kids are gonna be taken by child services.
I mean,
I
we'll
think
have to
they've
see.
got. Well, I believe his parents. I'm not sure. He's from a fairly well-to-do kind of influential type family
Yeah.
where, like, I think his kids are going to be okay. And
The
I
way
hate that
if you
that's
see and talk
this has
about his
happened to
kids,
them.
yeah,
Oh yeah, he just
he's pretty well off. Like, yeah,
before he was even involved
Lawyer
with the
should
whole Vic Mignogna thing,
yeah,
right? Before he became internet famous, before that, he's been part of other operations, I guess, for lack of a better word, right?
right,
That kind of build and foster online communities of hate, whether it's through like Second Amendment type stuff, right? Whether it's communities that they're focused on the Second Amendment, or communities that are focused on the First Amendment and whatever their perceived idea of freedom of speech is, right?
Yeah.
Wherever he can provide whatever fake legal advice he can give. He was always there being part of it. And then he media savvy enough to know how to kind of build these things up and build these audiences up and do their thing with literal neo-Nazi groups.
Ooh.
Okay. That's where his experience lies. Okay. And it's literally the same playbook that Geeks and Gamers and Gary and Jeremy and all those guys use, right? Mm-hmm. Is the same playbook that he sold to the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists and whoever else he had worked for before. It's really no different. It's just a different audience, you know?
Right. But you know, the interesting part of his arrest is anybody who's been following him could see that a mile away. It's just the people in his corner were in denial about it.
But the guy was drinking on stream.
That is annoying. Yeah, he's drinking on stream. He's looks disheveled. He looks extremely skinny.
I saw that video today. What I saw was a heroin addict, because I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
and then I read the police report, and it said that he had he had track marks. He had track marks on his arm. Track marks from
I didn't see that.
injecting
heroin
drugs intravenously.
Specifically heroin.
So, well, I mean, you can shoot meth, you can shoot cocaine, you can shoot anything that's crystal or powder. But he looked to me like the way he was nodding off and kind of convulsing a little bit, kind of shaking and nodding off. I've seen that before. I know what that looks like. That's heroin, and then that was pretty much confirmed to me with the.
And he was, and at the same time, he had a glass of what was maybe whiskey. I don't know what he likes to drink: whiskey, rum. He was drinking something alcoholic.
And they said, and the cocaine thing is all hearsay at this point. All we know is that it was a controlled substance. I think any reference to what it was directly is just hearsay.
Well, because they have the, you know how they label the substance, the different degrees of it.
Schedule 1. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were saying it was, I can't even remember, but it was they said cocaine or methamphetamine. So I don't know if that includes other drugs. I don't know how it works in the United States, but I assume it's kind of similar.
We have 3 schedules in the United States.
Right.
And Schedule 1 is the highest, like LSD, even like antidepressants, like prescribed most pharmaceuticals.
What state does he live in? What state does he live in?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So that's actually a Democratic.
Oh wait, so he lives with the choking Timberwolves.
So what's the laws like in Minnesota when it comes to like? Do you know when it comes to like drug possession?
Yeah, but see, it's like federal laws in the United States. Federal laws supersede.
Oh, he's getting charged with federal. Okay.
So, like, even in like, let's say a state like Illinois, right?
Right.
Where marijuana is legal to buy, sell, and consume medically and recreationally.
Yeah, here
right?
too, man. You
Right.
can come up here.
Yeah. So, but if I'm in Tennessee, right, I go to Illinois and see my brother, right, or I go to Michigan and see family there in Detroit. Weed is incredibly cheap in Michigan, right? Illinois,
Right.
it's expensive because it's taxed to death. And I bring it back to Tennessee, it's illegal because it's illegal in Tennessee. But
Surprised.
it's still illegal. It's still illegal in all 50 states federally.
Right.
But the federal government has kind of looked the other way, and now they're taking
U.S. government.
They're taking marijuana off the Schedule 1, hopefully soon.
Yeah,
it's just the United States is just like there are counties near me, where you can't buy or sell alcohol, any kind, beer, wine, whiskey.
Right.
So they're still bootlegging. People will go to the next county over.
They still have
buy hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of alcohol and beer and bring it to their county and sell it out of their garage.
They still live what? When was the Prohibition years? They still live in those years?
30, yeah, it was the 30s when it Prohibition.
That helped. That you know what? You know how that's the Great Depression those years. Prohibition helped hurt it too.
Yeah. Prohibition helped to end.
Yes.
The end of Prohibition helped end the Great Depression.
And so, as bad as World War II was, World War II helped too.
Well, yeah, wars are a
moneymaker. Yes,
economic force multiplier. That's what that's called. Economic.
Yeah.
So is welfare. Like if we literally took, let's say there are, I don't know 30 million people on some kind of government or public assistance, right?
Right.
If we just suddenly eliminated that's a huge blow to our economy, the U.S. economy. Yeah. It's what they call an economic force multiplier. We literally play fractions of cents each American, like what we pay to help other Americans, right? Really isn't that much compared to what we're paying to build a bomb or a plane or
right.
So,
but people
itemization exactly. Yeah. If you're looking at an itemization of what you pay in taxes and where it was to go, say if it went to feed a child, you'd be like, that's all I'm spending to feed hungry kids.
Anything more calling out to people for sitting on Nick, and I'm like, Andy, you're the last person should be defending Nick. Please.
Who?
Oh, the first people to go in on him are the people that claim we're his friend.
Yeah, saying more.
Who's going in on him? Because I'm not even.
On Twitter, I'm going after the people that are shitting on Nick for getting arrested.
I'm sure EVS I'm sure EVS doesn't have anything nice to say about it either.
Maybe.
Well, didn't EVS defend him? I didn't see ICE. I thought I saw his title say something. Come help Nick Ricada or something.
Some of these people live in glass houses.
Come help. Here's the thing: you only get when you have addiction, people cannot exactly help you. You have to help yourself.
Right.
Yeah, because there's so much you can do for someone.
Yeah. But the thing is, his buddies. Well, I'm not gonna say, but his buddies were pretending that everything was okay. I think they're still pretending.
Pretending everything is okay. The guy.
Yeah, they're definitely enabling.
I'm sorry, if you're drinking on stream, that's a sign you're not okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
unless you do it for show.
I think most streamers.
I know plenty of functional addicts, people that drink and do much harder drugs than a lot of other people would suspect they've ever done because they still like go to work or they still maintain their responsibilities. And
you can't. Is this true? You can't you can't give.
Yes, in some states it is. Some states, cities. I think it's a city. It's a municipal thing here. Maybe states. I can't say.
So you really
he's not wrong. No, Momoon is
Aaron,
right.
Aaron, some people do stupid stuff on streams. I mean, FuzzyTube was doing 24/7 streams doing stupid stuff like going after other YouTubers.
I mean, you know what's crazy? I mean, because I was watching all types of videos on this. When the quartering says something that makes sense, like
something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong, right? I don't think it's a good idea at all to drink on stream because you never know what you may say. And with some of these people, we know that they aren't who they say they are when they're in front of the camera. So I think just don't do it at all. But for him, he's been enabled. Nick Rekieta was enabled.
Again, that's they're all part of the. They're all members of the party of personal responsibility.
Right.
And if they're going to drink on stream, that's on them.
That is on them. Yeah.
If you're enabling someone to drink and do weed because they get entertainment out of it, you're not a good person overall.
Well, that's another reason. Well, here's another reason why you can't count on your friends and family. What if they're the ones enabling you, or like, yo, keep going?
This is a serious storyline of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's the entire final season story. That's the A plot of the entire final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
It was a great conclusion.
Yeah, I really hope he's not done. I hope he keeps doing
it. He should do something he should be a coach. He should do a movie or TV show as a coach. He should be Phil Jackson.
Oh yeah, he'd be great. Here's my biggest beef with the vast majority of online grifters, particularly the right-leaning ones who use nerd culture as their pulpit, right?
They like to say they speak for everyone, right?
So I used to operate a comic book store, and we had a customer who came in almost every day.
Every day.
Yes, but he only spent money. He only spent money on the 1st and 15th of the month when he got his disability check and his Social Security checks, right? And the guy that owned the comic book store at some point, just basically the kid would come in and you can sign the back of your check and then give it to a person and they sign it and that person can cash it. It's called signing your check over, right?
Yeah.
He would literally sign his government checks over to this comic book store owner. Okay? And then the comic book store owner would give him whatever was say $500 worth of here, you've got a $500 line of credit at this store, right? And he didn't ask for that. But if this kid, he was an adult male coming into your store saying, here, take this check. It's good. It says United States government on it. Mm-hmm. We can't tell him no. So he gets his stuff or whatever. This goes on for months, maybe a year or more. And eventually his mother comes in and says, yeah, no more of that. That Ed here, Ed ain't all there, man. He's a couple tacos shy of combo plate. You really shouldn't have been taking his money from him like that. That's the money that he needs to live. We didn't know he was doing this, blee, blue, blah. Yeah, that's a problem. So what I see these guys doing when they run these telethons, basically, it's no different than my old granny, sending her checks over to the faith healer on TV, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
They're like televangelists for the falsely aggrieved. They're just the echo chamber, the preaching to the converted is lucrative when you're selling hate.
Those scam phone calls, right?
And yes, it's the same thing. They're fucking charlatans, man. They don't. Somebody was earlier tonight was talking about kayfabe, and on another stream, and that's just kayfabe. They don't really believe what they're saying.
But this is not wrestling, though. This is not wrestling.
No, but the world has been kayfabed, Aaron. Everything is kayfabe.
But you get my point.
Everything. Yeah, no, I know, but we live in a like Vince McMahon owned the world and turned everybody into it's either a promo or a shoot. What are you doing? Cutting promos? No, YouTubers think they're actual characters.
Well, they have to play.
Okay. I'm all for style of substance as long as there's like some semblance of like earnestness and authenticity to it.
Right.
Don't just argue.
That's the thing, though.
Don't take the other side just because no one else is.
Right.
I mean, it just seems counterproductive to me. But at the same time, I want those people out there saying the stupid shit because I know who they are.
DeGrassi. Yeah. I've told Aaron this. I think I told Blinded this years ago when I was when I first started volunteering at my church's religious education program. This 6th or 7th grade boy, he was saying all this stuff about how Star Wars was woke and get woke, go broke. So I was like, "You watch Geeks and Gamers?" And he slowly nodded. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" He's
ashamed.
They've influenced the youth. This is at the beginning of the Geeks and Gamers Phantom Menace era. This was 2018, when they were taking off.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy to me, man. I don't.
And it sticks with me for the rest of my life because it's I worked with youth for the last 6 years now, and it's that to me is still one of the memories that sticks with me.
Did you see that kid later on? Did you?
I haven't seen him since then. I mean, he's probably in high school now. He was 12 or 13.
He's probably
either in high school or college at this point.
Yeah, I bet he's probably moved on, unless
unless he's still the same way.
But it seems to me like it's there's a certain amount of churn with their audience. They just they lose people, but it doesn't seem like they get the same numbers back when people fall off.
I mean,
my 11-year-old cousin used to watch Sniper Wolf. I'm like, why do you watch that? It's horrible.
Well, you know why he's watching her?
Yeah, I told her what she's really like and how she's kind of she's a
crazy sociopath.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Degrassi, this guy also this kid. So he had dreams of being a lawyer, and he also would say this pro-Trump stuff, and he was also saying how Republicans that didn't support Trump, like John McCain and George H.W. Bush, who passed away at the time.
How old did you say?
He was 12 or 13. But no, here's the killer thing. So
his parents did a number on him.
So this is 2018. Yeah. So we know what happened in 2018. John McCain and George H.W. Bush.
I have a feeling.
Wait, Aaron, hold on. I want to explain this to Degrassi. So John McCain and George H.W. Bush, they were not fans of Donald Trump, even though they were Republicans. They passed away in 2018. This kid's saying that John McCain and Bush are burning in hell because they didn't support Trump. I'm like, yo, that's extreme.
Well, it's not his fault. That's not his
parents,
fault.
I think.
That's all that fucking kid heard. That's all he heard when he got up and got ready for school and had breakfast in the morning.
Trump is not a freaking Republican himself, okay? He's a fake.
I can't imagine having a childhood like that. Well, you know what? You know which politician I spouted off about when I was 12?
Who?
I didn't fucking know who any politicians were.
Richard Nixon.
I was like, they were just a bunch of stuffy assholes on TV who my dad groused and bitched about.
No, you're Richard Nixon was before you, I think.
The day I was born was when Richard Nixon announced that he was removing troops that they were pulling out of Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Right. How long? Okay.
So, yeah. So I had a partial. So the only presidents I remember are Agnew, Ford.
Damn, we have so many presidents.
I don't even remember Agnew, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush.
The father, yeah,
Clinton,
Bush.
Yeah, so Ford, Agnew or Ford would have been my first one. So yeah, the first president I got to vote for.
I think I think Trump's going to win.
Dukakis, and we saw how that went.
I do think Trump's going to win the next election.
You think who is?
Trump.
She said Trump.
Oh God, I don't know. I can't. I don't even. This isn't like I've stopped watching. I watch just the news that I need. Like I've had to stop watching shit like John Oliver and the Daily Show.
I don't even watch the news anymore.
I don't even watch.
I have to just. I can't. Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
You know, The Rock's on presidency. You can walk by.
It's going to be like he can't win again. I don't think, and anybody that thinks he should, just they don't understand because, like, poor white people that like who do you like when if let's say that a white nationalist agenda was to take hold in the United States, and we were able to have some kind of not necessarily ethnic cleansing, but mass deportations of anybody who wasn't white. Right. It didn't matter if you were born here or not. Right.
No. If you're born
and
here.
then who do you think's next? Yeah. Like it won't matter what color you are. It'll be the poor white people. They don't understand that they have a target on their back, just like everyone else.
We've gotten to a point where like my mom hates the Clintons. She regrets. She wishes she could vote for Hillary. Like if she can go back in time. Like we've gotten to that point where my mom, who hates the Clintons with a passion, would saying like I regret not voting for Hillary.
Have you ever asked her why? Have you ever like has she ever expressed?
Well, here's the thing. Like even though my mom, like
I guarantee you, Canada,
Hunter, it's like my mom. She's been a registered Republican for years, but she hates Donald Trump. Like
because Trump is a fake. He's not even a Republican.
So for her thing is like she respected Obama. Like she liked him. She didn't like all his policies, but she respected him and appreciated him. But like she didn't like Bill Clinton for like the stuff with the intern and all that. Even though like she agreed that the economy was smooth, she didn't like the Clintons' personalities.
I mean,
I miss it. That Clinton economy was the shit.
So but like so her thing was like she didn't like her choices in 2016, but she went with Trump because she wasn't taking a lot of the things that he was accused of seriously. But then when 2020 came around, she realized like how bad. So she voted for Joe Biden.
Man.
So that was kind of my thing as well, because I feel like I was being influenced by a lot of my friends and family in 2016 because it was my first election. So I was like, okay, I'm going to vote this way. And then like I regretted my vote. And then 2020, I voted for Joe Biden. So I hate to say it, I'm the one person that's 2 for 2 in the last 2 elections.
The thing is blinded. I guarantee you if they had an election in Canada, I don't think Trudeau will win this year.
I don't even pay attention to what's going on here, too.
I got to go. There were 2 things I wanted to get in before I go. But go. What were you saying, Blinded? I'm sorry.
No. I am jaded, and I don't think this whole partisan nonsense garbage, it's all just the same. Different, you got this team, you got that team. I don't care anymore.
But here in the States we have one side that advocates for eliminating entire groups of people, and the other party doesn't. So they're not the same to me. Like any argument here in the States, at least, that the Republicans and the Democrats are the same is absolutely lost on someone like me who's old enough to have voted in
I just personally think both. I'm saying both. I'm saying the far right and the far left, the really far right and far left. I think they have one thing in common. I think they like to both be authoritarian.
But even the far left isn't. Like the far left isn't trying to. The far left isn't advocating for policies that would literally advocate or determine the fate of entire. Groups of people. They're just saying. Don't say these words. Don't call people this. It's really like that. That argument's almost like it's I can't because it's really not the same. there is a horseshoe. I call it the circle of dirt, right? But like where you
I mean,
can lean
in terms
so far
of
to the left, you can lean so
right.
far to the left where you end up on the right, right?
Yes.
And maybe that's your how you're perceiving it. But I like the far left aren't. I mean, most of the people that are that far left are like,
Insane.
well, yeah. Even more so than the people on the far right, like, get off my land. Those guys, you know, I have created my own currency.
I just don't think extremism doesn't get you anywhere. It actually makes things worse.
No, yeah, but
from the left it does though, because extremism at one point, like abolition was considered extreme. The civil rights was considered extremism.
That's a good point. Well, that's a good point.
Back then, yeah.
When the English left and came to the New World, that was extremism.
I'm gonna call you late for dinner.
Here's the thing. This is what I think. I think presentation matters on how you present something, and I think it's not so much as extreme policies. It's just how you are presenting them, because some people. They just ain't good presenters when it comes to presenting their policies.
No, I don't even think it's about presenting, though. I think.
Well, here's the thing. There's a reason why people like progressives would feel more in line with Bernie than maybe another progressive, because the way Bernie presents it, I think, comes across as more genuine and less crazy.
Catch more flies with honey than shit, and it's hard to believe. I know, because flies love shit, but you do catch more flies with honey.
So like. I feel like
grow on.
Like presentation matters. Look, I don't like Donald Trump, but Trump knows how. I think Trump knows how to present compared to other people in his party.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, what are you presenting? I mean, I think that's more the issue. It seems like
it's really
at least I mean, I'm not concerned about American politics because I don't live in America. It does affect me internationally and trade and etc. But I don't know. When it comes to politics, I feel like it's a lot more about the show than it is about the platform, and that's why I say I don't really care for this partisan stuff, because I think it detracts from the actual issues at hand and what you're voting for. And even just from working at here, like voting polls and seeing, I don't want to call them ignorant, but it is ignorance, in my opinion, to not know who you're voting for, to just vote based on a person instead of the platform. And it's their responsibility. That's democracy. But personally, I just feel extremely jaded by it, even though I have my own opinions on different topics. But I don't know. It's not really. I don't know. It affects me, but at the same time, it's like something I don't really want to partake in.
I'll lay this one on you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I am a affluent, middle-aged white man, non-practicing lapsed Jew, right?
Mm-hmm.
So blonde hair and blue eyes, right?
Right.
So I have had every advantage and privilege extended to me that I never asked for, despite my upbringing, which was kind of middle to upper middle, but it wasn't easy. It was, I saw some shit, right? So I don't vote for me because I know that I'll be all right. Right? Because I'm essentially, for lack of a better term, I have a buddy who always called me you're the Aryan ideal. Okay. That'll be enough of that.
Oh my God.
Right.
Considering my parentage and stuff, you would have been able to get away.
No, they would have known. They would have found out.
I know, but we joke about it.
I know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not voting for me. I'm voting for all of my friends and relatives of different races and creeds and colors and beliefs and stuff. I'm not in it for me. I haven't been for a long time. You know, my mom was a woman. My grandmother were women. I'm married to a woman. Every woman I've ever loved has been a woman. But then none of them have had penises. But if they did, I still would have loved them if they were the same person. You know, none of that stuff matters. I don't think it should. You know, I think the MO should be do no harm. And as long as everybody works that way, we'll be all right.
Right.
You know, you have libertarians that want all the edicts, they want all the promise of a civil society, but they don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
They don't, you know, they don't want to be told how to live, but they're more than happy to tell you.
They don't want government involved in anything.
Well, okay, so then don't drive on the road. The government,
exactly. I know.
Build your own road, come up with your own currency, find your own, get your own mail, deliver your own mail, and send your own mail.
No, that's never going to work. We live in a society like I don't.
Exactly. That. So I can't. I'm not in the political discourse, or I don't vote for me because I have the least to lose, no matter how it goes.
Right.
So the choice has always been clear to me. It's the one who isn't telling me what to believe or what music to listen to or what movies to watch, or, you know, that's who I'm always going to pick, regardless of what my grandparents or my parents told me or what they believed, you know?
Right.
So,
no,
that's that.
Because I share that same sentiment. It's just, it's hard.
It's fucking hard
to have that perspective when it seems like other people don't care about others. That's the part that makes me extremely jaded.
That's the thing
about like there seems to be no sort of thought process into what this other person is going through, or both perspectives, even if you disagree with them or you didn't like something they did. And I don't know if we'll ever overcome that. But
the thing is, we never have discussions anymore.
No, there's never I'm gonna sit down and talk. Instead of it just being
it's hard. I've got friends that are we're diametrically opposed morally.
Right.
I'm not saying they're more moral than I am, or I'm amoral or immoral. But our morals are different, right?
Yeah.
And they may be in law enforcement, but they're also, they're a public servant, right? But they also are a libertarian who believes taxation is theft. Now, I love this person like a brother, but I look at them and go, Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. You understand that it would be a private company would come in. Okay, no. Do you really want to work for a corporation, dude? You've worked for the city for your entire life. You've been on the police force since you were 20 years old. Why would you want that? What are you protecting and serving then? Your job's already basically hard enough, just protecting property. It's not about.
They probably would get less rights if they work for a corporation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they'd be able to probably shoot to kill on site for just about anything. Minor traffic violation.
They'll probably get charged. Well, that's even more dangerous.
It would be like RoboCop, OCP. OCP's coming and taking over the precinct.
Seriously, it's I don't.
But I gotta go. I gotta get out of here, fellas. You guys have a great night. I did want to.
I appreciate talking.
That's awesome. Todd McFarlane Toys got announced their Marvel license today.
Marvel, they're doing
1/6. 1/6 and 1/10 scale statues of cold cast resin and porcelain. Cold cast resin, porcelain, and the more affordable PVC options. And then that'll be moving into other ranges, and he'll be announcing WWE and Star Wars licenses soon too.
Is Hasbro mad?
Because they license to him. They license GI Joe
Yeah,
and Transformers to McFarlane for their Page Punchers lines, and there may be
McFarlane
an
toys are
expansion of
better
that
though.
range.
They're better designed.
Playmates has licensed the Turtles to him.
But
TKO has a UFC WWE deal with him. He already had a Disney deal because he's been doing the Disneyverse stuff, some figures, and then he's got a deal at Universal for Movie Maniacs. He's got all the WBD properties for Movie Maniacs and toy lines, as well as all of the DC stuff. I can't wait to see the Creature Commando stuff. We should be seeing that I can't wait for everybody else to see the Creature Commando stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And get ready because I think that's going to be a doozy. I really do. If you like the Peacemaker or the Suicide Squad in any way, shape, or form, you're going to fucking love Creature Commandos.
Oh man! Wait, does that premiere this year?
yes.
No way.
Yes,
right? It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there will be trailer soon. Whenever the Annecy Animation Festival in France is next month, June.
Yeah, I think it's soon.
July. It's getting its own panel. So
man.
Yeah, PR starts for Suicide Squad next month. So we can expect 60 to 90 days of that, and then we'll have a premiere date and everything by whenever that panel is next month. So can't wait.
Yeah.
But fuck this Venom movie, and what else? Yeah, that McFarlane deal's pretty sweet. Like, he's going to be doing really cool, affordable, but not just based on his artwork, based on other classic Marvel artists and stuff too. So,
yeah.
All right, guys, you have a great night.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
I'll talk to you all later.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah,
I love how this show it goes all over the place.
Well, this wasn't really like it wasn't. Really,
it was an interesting conversation though.
Blinded. So yeah, I was gonna say something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, George, are you excited for summer? What is it, Summerfest? Summer Games, the Jeff Knightley show. That replaces E3. The show that.
You mean you're talking about games, right?
Yeah, that bought the show that Jeff Knightley does to replaces E3.
Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I mean, next week we might get a PlayStation showcase. So there's a lot of rumors about that. I mean, whatever happens, right? Because I'm not so focused on announcements. I'm interested, obviously. Me and RJ and Meta will probably talk about it, stream it, and stuff. But
yeah, I'm excited. I'm seeing Furiosa tomorrow. I'm so excited.
I don't know when I'm gonna watch it, but I don't want to see any trailers. I don't want to see. I think I may have gotten spoiled by accident for something, and I was like, oh, I was kind of upset because I don't want to know anything about this movie.
Furiosa?
Yeah. I'm very excited.
You know what I'm excited for? I don't know what I'm excited for. I'm excited for Deadpool Wolverine.
I don't know how to feel right now about that movie. Maybe closer to the launch.
I think it's going to make the most money at the box office this year because I don't think any other movie is going to come close to.
Yeah, it's tracking pretty well. I still say no billion. I think it's gonna.
No. Yeah, you're better Finbar.
Yeah, I can't see. I mean, I can't see it making $1 billion because, again, I don't know how this is going to be perceived. I think it's going to open big. But
it's on track to open big right now.
Yeah, but some people are. But here's the thing: this is some. Why did they launch the tickets so early? Like
2 months in advance.
Yeah, I don't understand. And also, like I said, the fact that there's not a lot of rumors, which Degrassi was saying because of it's not finished, which I believe that it's not finished because, well, why isn't there leaks? That I think is suspicious. Um, and also it seems like we don't even really know what this movie is about, besides it being Wolverine and Deadpool, which I guess maybe is a positive thing. Keep things mysterious, but I really don't know about this movie. I really don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a big moment for the MCU. It's a big possible turning point because I do think this could have implications for potentially how we could view the X Men in the future. So, man, the X Men '97 show.
Oh, I
Yeah,
guess I should probably start watching it this weekend when I have extra
Oh, you
time.
should.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a pretty good show.
there's a, there might be a reason why I didn't use Deadpool in the show. There weren't you to use Deadpool for some reason. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't know if look, my theory about Apocalypse and Kang is out there. It's way out there. I just pretty idea how maybe the show and the live action is connected because of Apocalypse. But just think that was that. It's not like a concrete theory. It's just a possible one of my crazy theories. And sometimes my crazy theories do end up coming true. But if that does
mm.
happen, if it does happen, um, credit me, everybody. Uh,
Wait, which theory was that?
um, Apocalypse in at the last episode, and Kang. Kang is when he's one with time.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, that's. I don't think that's far fetched. They did not expect to be quite. Oh, hmm. I mean, I'm not surprised.
and it's good to go to the X Men movie, I guess. I think that's a proper way. If you're gonna do X Men, do X Men movie first, and then maybe you could do spin offs off of that.
Right.
Not specific Wolverine because we got a bunch of Wolverine stuff, but like the other characters. Because in the original X Men movies, some of the characters did get shafted, like Cyclops, pretty much got ignored. Right? They didn't get much character development, and maybe now they could do that.
I mean, I still don't know. Like this X-Men movie, I think I'm just. I
I'm
don't
not
know what to
confident
think about it. Yeah, I'm not confident, and
because of the
I'm.
writer.
I mean, I keep differentiating X-Men from the greater MCU because it's just so not like the MCU. It's totally stylistically the story, the characters. It feels like a totally different thing made by somebody entirely different.
Yeah, because I still think Deadpool Wolverine, even though it's MCU, I still think it's a 20th Century Fox production, isn't it?
Um, I mean, it's still Marvel Studios though.
It
I
is
don't
Marvel
think it's.
Studios, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see a century, 20th century logo studios,
Hmm.
right? But I like that movie. I just feel like
No, it's not.
I just get very Doctor Strange vibes from that movie. Like it's like I have that excitement, but I'm also like I feel like people have built it up in their heads of what this movie's going to be about and what it's going to potentially set up, and it's not going to be that.
That's the problem with Marvel movies in general. We get too hyped about them.
Yeah, I think people. I mean, yeah, we get too hyped about them, and then we have these crazy expectations. Because
Yeah.
I was saying because we recorded the episode for Controller Chronicles. There was a similar problem happening with Hellblade, um, which is funny because I beat the game now, and now I have totally different thoughts than what I said in the episode.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know Marvel, right? Like X-Men, that X-Men show has made me really excited for X-Men and realizing the stuff that my criticism of the MCU, it's like, oh my god, the thing I was saying they should do, that's what X-Men the show was doing. It was doing all the exact same things, all the criticism that I had. The fact that all the villains, they're just villains. You kill them off, you get rid of them. No, the villains here are sticking around. They're gonna stay right. Maybe there's Bastion who, he gets killed off, but he's probably gonna come back. It's not
He's
like,
alive.
yeah. So and Magneto, it's like Magneto is this character who like almost feels like an anti-hero, where it's
Uh-huh.
like you can kind of understand where he's coming from, and it makes you go back between like both sides, where you're like, I see what the X-Men are doing, but I see what Magneto wants to do. I understand. It doesn't feel just like black and white. It feels more nuanced.
But the problem is you cannot really introduce an MCU because you kind of got a villain like that. His name was Thanos.
No, but you can it can be
You
way
can see
better than Thanos though.
Thanos
Magneto,
could
in
be
my opinion,
considered,
is better than Thanos will ever
but
be.
Thanos could be considered an anti-hero too if you look from his point of view.
Not really. He's not Magneto is someone who is like we spend time with him. He has
Yeah, I know,
points,
but
and the other. It's not like, I mean, this would be interesting. I don't know how you would do this, but it's not like the Avengers were like, oh, I'm gonna go with Thanos. They're all fighting against Thanos. Here you have X-Men going like, you know what, maybe he does have a point, and they
but
sided with him.
here's the thing about Magneto and Thanos. There is a bit of, there is a bit of a comparison because Thanos in the comics was kind of shunned away for his looks, for being purple and all that,
Yeah,
and so there
but
is kind of a comparison, right?
I
Um,
I think Thanos has always been. I mean, it's not that he's not sympathetic, but he's a
yeah,
villain.
yeah. Well,
He's never gonna toe the line. He's not working with the superheroes. That is a big distinction. Magneto is
well,
gonna work with the heroes, the
well,
heroes that we like.
it's Doctor Doom. Would Doctor Doom be considered an anti-hero now? This is the
I
thing.
don't I don't think Doctor Doom is on the same level as what Magneto is. I mean, like these are established Marvel characters, but after that show and looking and being like and going back to and looking at X-Men comics and being like, I mean, because when you go back to like Stan Lee X-Men, Magneto's pretty much just a regular villain who just
Yes,
is
he is.
whatever. Yeah, but it's Chris Claremont, and going forward, what they did with Magneto, you're like, I actually really like the character. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, I'm so infatuated by Magneto, but I'm like, this is he shouldn't just be a villain. He should be maybe kind of like what Loki is, but more consistent, like
Well,
someone we
Loki is
actually
worse,
see
man.
a lot more.
Loki wanted to control Earth, man. He wanted to be the dictator of Earth.
Yeah, but look at where Loki is like probably now I would say one of my like top favorite MCU characters because of that last season.
Great character development, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
That
mean
season,
and it's like wow, the writers
and
actually went full circle.
and
Like
they
they
went
actually knew
in the
what they were doing.
comics. In the comics, Loki is not really like that. They haven't fully made him a
No,
true
yeah.
good guy. Like
No, but he
eventually,
had a arc. Like he had an arc that made sense where it's like he
yeah.
wants this purpose, he wants, glory,
I
and then he realizes that if you're gonna have glory, it comes at a price, right? And he accepted it. And it's like, oh wow. Like I'm telling you, that last
I mean,
moment, that last episode, like uh, uh, that too was also things
mhm.
that the MCU never did. Like it's so weird. I seen a meme that was like, this is literally what it is, where it's like a Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel is back. And then it's like Secret Invasion, Marvel is dead. Loki season 2, Marvel is back. And it keeps going
Echo,
back and forth.
Echo. Jesus.
Yeah, Marvel. I've seen some people say they like Echo, and I'm like confused. I'm just like,
Well, Fury
Echo was
also gets a
boring.
B plus a cinema score.
The Fury Road apparently also got one as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that
sometimes
makes sense.
R-rated movies don't get high scores no matter how great they are.
You could make Doctor Doom kind of a sympathetic villain too. I mean, I can see Marvel doing that.
You would have, but he's still like, he's still front and center a villain. Like he's always gonna be all the villains or all the heroes are gonna fight him. Magneto's a character who you're
Yeah.
like, we need more of these types of characters. You either have to dig and find them because I want a villain who you're like, the heroes are also kind of infatuated by him and be like, you know what, I'm gonna pick his side over yours.
I mean,
You know,
look,
I'm gonna line with him. I think it's a little bit more interesting. It's like, you know, if you're gonna have villains stick around, why not make them more than just being sympathetic? Make them potentially have a conflicting argument with the heroes, and some heroes align with them. Um, I think that's what maybe James Gunn will do. Like he's not gonna just do the straight good guy, bad guy, blue beam in the sky bullshit. We need to get away from that.
well,
100% we
no.
need to get away from that.
What was I gonna say? What a character. What character was I gonna say? Oh well, look, I wouldn't say Zemo is not necessarily a bad guy per
Zemo
se.
could be that character.
Even though in the comics he's not really, he's a
But
villain.
he was pretending to
Yeah.
be a hero. He kind
In
of
his own
is.
mind, yeah. Killmonger too
Well,
is
no,
like he's a hero.
he was on the Thunderbolts,
Oh yeah, that's true.
right? He was a Patriot or whatever. I can't Patriot V, I forget the name. But no,
Oh,
there's some characters I think they could dig in and
as
be
mu-
like
as
and
much as
pick them.
as much as a character I didn't like, the Marvel's the villain was kind of a hero to her people.
Yeah, but she's
Yeah,
clearly like that movie is so poorly written where you're
I
just like,
know. Unfortunately,
yeah, that where it almost feels like she's just a villain because the story wants her to be a villain, but then it doesn't even address the fact that Captain Marvel, what was Captain Marvel? What do these MCU fans, hold on, I need a cough. These MCU fans, I will never understand because in the Marvels, listen, I understand why people dislike Captain Marvel before, but after watching the Marvels, why would anyone like Captain Marvel? What was she doing for 30 years? What was so
Yeah,
important that she neglected I can't even talk,
the
the
Skrulls.
scrolls, and then she neglected the Kree because she was like, well, I killed their the supreme intelligent, and then
I ruined her
I
civilization.
yeah, and
well,
it's
she
been 30
also
years. 30 years. What
And
was
well,
she doing?
it is the Kree civilians that had nothing to do with the Kree military. You know,
Yeah, and then at the ending of the
blinded.
movie,
Don't
they talk
forget,
to her.
she neglected
yeah.
her best friend who was suffering from cancer.
Yeah, well, like the movie made no sense. Made absolute no sense. Why would you make a character who like we don't even know what was she doing that was so important for 30 years? Never explained. Because someone explain this to me because it's never
Denise,
said, shown, no one knows. And all these people who talk about the Marvels is actually not that bad never point this out that Captain Marvel is a scumbag of a character, an actual scumbag. Like
Scumbag
there's
of a living being.
yes, and the whole I'm saving other people. So why can't you stick to your promise and save the people that you said you were going to save 30 years ago? Or the people that you endangered and killed because well they were run by a tyrant. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Some of the people who are writing these stories, I don't think are thinking that deep about what
no.
they're trying to write about. They're just like, we're gonna just make a fun movie and write in stuff that makes no sense. They're lucky no one saw this movie, to be honest, because it is a mess of a movie. Miss Marvel, again, like Miss Marvel, I feel like put in harm's way. There's no real teaching of her how to be a hero. Nothing. It's just sort of, oh, I want to be like Captain Marvel. Why does she even want to be like Captain Marvel? What has
There's so
Captain
many
Marvel
other
even
better
done?
heroes in the
No,
MCU to want to inspire to be like.
Yeah, and then when you
Like
see what,
first of all, if you're looking at female heroes, it should be Black Widow that should be the standard because she gave her life and sacrificed a lot to help bring everyone back.
Right.
She should have been like the female standard in the MCU, not just because she was like the first female MCU hero that we saw, but because like she made more sacrifices and did more for Earth than Captain Marvel ever did.
Right.
No, and she did it without having Captain Marvel's power. She was the weakest member of the Avengers, and yet she had the biggest heart out of all of them.
Yeah, I don't understand. And I never see, and what's funny too? The people who criticize the Marvels never bring this up. I've never seen anyone bring up these arguments about Captain Marvel and her character. It just seems like they just hate the movie because I guess it's got the 3 female protagonists and it's just silly. That's it. But like, there's no actual criticism of the character and what was done.
That's the difference between people like us criticizing the movie and people like we don't use that. We don't use the that kind of talk.
No, it's dumb though when you're not actually because there's some valid criticism.
But when they use that excuse, that's not legit criticism.
No, I don't. I mean, not when the movie has major problems. No.
No, when they use this, the movie did bad because it had 3 female leads. Like, that's not legit.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Right. You can have movies with 3 male leads and it can be bad. Yeah, it's just I don't know what she's been doing. Yeah, it's and the thing is, the Skrulls were all over the place. There were refugees, and then there were like refugees on Earth,
right?
And they blamed in Secret Invasion. They blame they blame Nick Fury, but I don't know how much they blame. They didn't really blame Captain Marvel. I don't know if they remember they blaming Captain Marvel in the show, even though she was not in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's the thing with the Marvels. Yeah, what she's been. Yeah, so what she's been doing. All we know in those 30 years, she's went to that planet.
Right.
One of obviously that. Besides what she's played about the Supreme, but she's been to the planet where you have to sing, to talk, to communicate. That's all we know.
Oh, she has time for that, but she don't have time for anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Did the Skrulls even have a planet at one point?
I don't even remember what was said in Captain Marvel's about the Skrulls, but I assume it's something to do with the Kree War, right? They exercised or got rid of their planet.
Oh,
I don't even remember.
It was so stupid because it was about Ronan. He got his ass handled by the army in '97, right? Right? And I'm like, then I remember watching Guardians when they had to sing to beat Ronan. I'm like, if that's the case, if 97 in the '97 Ronan was so easy to defeat, Gamora could have just taken down Ronan in the Guardians.
Yeah.
or Drax. Here's the thing, Drax could have taken down Ronan. Drax in the comics is taking down Thanos.
Well, I think we've established that all the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy have more of a heart than Captain Marvel.
Well, yeah, at least even
if they can be idiots at times, at least like there's they got hearts. Even Nebula's got more. I feel like has more of a heart than Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I like Nebula's hilarious. Stop looking at me! Stop.
I really don't. I mean, I question: are they going to continue with Captain Marvel? Because
I hope not. Like,
I think they should just scrap the character.
No, they're not going to drop the character.
Then to me, they gotta figure out. They gotta focus on what works.
She's one of the most powerful characters in the
MCU. The thing is, I think they should like honestly, I would just go back to what made her appealing in the comics when she was not Captain Marvel, and just take that idea and put that into her character and just scrap
Yes.
whatever you have here, because this whole idea, like, I don't know what, like, I really don't know what they were trying to do with her character. Like, they trying, like, they're trying to make her flawed, but at the same time her flaws seem,
No, she's
it seems like she's ignorant, like like, or neglectful, like like, I don't think it's something, a flaw that people admire or like. It's sort of, it just really seems, it really does seem like she's neglectful, like she doesn't actually care. Like, that's what it really comes across, because what you say, you're saving people, you make a promise to these people, and you don't help them for the next 30 years. Like, what excuse do you have,
I mean, yeah,
really?
there's like seriously, you can't find some planet that's not inhabited by anybody, and you can't just have squalls build up their community, whatever,
Right.
like for 30 years. Are you seriously? What? Every planet has species
And
living there.
also too, why is she the only person doing this? Like, why doesn't she have like a team of people
That's a good
helping her?
question. It's a good question. Um,
What?
Rogue
What?
Rogue in X Men 92 got her powers, the flight and strength from Miss Marvel. Okay,
Right.
if we're gonna see, you think we're gonna see Captain Marvel in X Men '97? Miss Marvel's gonna be end up showing up. What do you think? You're gonna guess? I'm gonna guess she's gonna end up
Mm,
showing up as Captain Marvel in X Men '97 because we haven't seen her. She's in a coma
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, they are putting a lot of these characters in, so we'll probably see her, maybe even the next season. So, I don't know this.
Did she join the Guardians too, Captain Marvel in the comics?
Yeah, she's joined a lot of teams. She was on Alpha Flight recently. She's probably not anymore,
Why
but
should Alpha Fly? She's not Canadian.
yeah, I didn't understand that either. But
What the heck?
in the comics, they don't even know what to do with her, because it's almost like
You know what
they
ruined
turn
her?
her
Civil
character
War.
so.
Civil War 2 ruined her.
Yeah, so, well, I feel like that was like the big thing that
Yeah,
people noticed, but like, okay, when she was Captain Marvel, like just turned Captain Marvel, it was fine until I want to say 2014, 15,
that's
when
Civil
I
War
think they
time.
changed the, well, no, Civil War 2 was 2016,
Yeah,
but
Brown Civil
they
War.
were changing, like, the run of the original writer ended, and then
Yeah.
they kept rebooting and doing all this stuff, and I never really, I never understood, also too, like, why they
Yes, she
couldn't just
is.
keep her as Captain, or not Captain, but Miss
Miss.
Marvel,
I
because
used to love.
it's almost like a totally different character at this point.
I know. I used to love her using her in Marvel Ultimate Alliance because she was so OP.
Yeah, everybody like, it's just such a disservice what they did to the character, and I don't
They,
know if they know that, but total disservice.
I don't know, because I know she could be serious, but I know she's very open and could be like very funny, down to earth. In the comics, she was known to be down to earth.
Right.
You know how like uh but she was
Yeah, she
always
was always like lighthearted, very
yeah.
jokey. She, like, I don't know, she was very bubbly kind of
She
character. She was very different compared to the other Avengers too.
yes.
Like she's not sarcastic. She's not, no, she's pretty, like, I mean, she's tongue in cheek, yes, but she was never mean spirited. She was never like snarky. She was never like this kind of like, I'm always serious. Like, no, she was another, like, again, what everybody said, she was basically Marvel's Superman. She was supposed to be lighthearted, and she was doing the best she
Yes.
could,
I think they
like,
were trying to make her a badass, and they wanted to make her badass
no,
live
yeah,
action.
they don't,
You don't have to. She can still be badass, but you could do it differently. You could do it how she is from the comics. That's still badass.
yeah. I
Like
mean, that's exactly, but this is the thing. They did the exact same problem with Superman. Superman
yeah,
is just drab and sad and mad that he's Superman. Like,
But he was badass as the Superman we know. We don't have to make him this.
Yeah, you don't need to. I really don't understand why is it just cynical writing? Like, of just like all the people in
Yeah.
Hollywood are cynical and hate these types of characters. Like,
What are you trying to make
I
him
don't
all like
know.
Batman?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like the Dark Knight trilogy is their template. The Batman is their template that from Dark Knight trilogy. We gotta make these characters, not all of them, because Marvel characters, not all of them. Thor's certainly not like that. Iron Man's certainly not, but some of the characters you could tell like, oh yeah, we gotta make a characters like the Dark Knight Batman. I'm like, but Bruce, that's Batman. Like Batman always feels like that. Like that's Batman. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, remember she got pregnant too in the comics.
Yeah, but that was that was like in a problematic, weird. Yeah, like I don't even know what the hell that was about.
And yeah, I don't like. Yeah, with Batman's just always been like that. Okay, Michael Keaton's Batman. He was kind of more of a loner. He's kind of a loner. All the Bruce Wayne Batmans I think were different from. I'm not going to count George Clooney, but actually I think Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne was actually underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's the most deep of the 4 movies in the 90s, the 89 to 90s. I think Val Kilmer's Batman went deep into the character of Bruce Wayne.
Well, that was like the one thing Joel Schumacher did better than Burton was, the emphasis on Bruce Wayne's character, because Tim Burton was more into exploring the villains than Batman himself.
So I think with all the Batman and Bruce Waynes, they're all different interpretations. I mean, whether you like Ben Affleck or not, but most of them got to the core elements of what Bruce Wayne and Batman's about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Even Robert Pattinson. But you can't. It's just that you can't make you can't be Bruce Wayne Batman cannot be a template. You can't. Here's the thing: you can't make any comic book character when we're making a film. You cannot make them a template because each character from the comics are different.
Right.
Right. You can't do that. Yeah, Iron Man. I guess you could take some aspects from Iron Man from Batman because they're billionaire playboys and they're heroes, stuff like that. But Tony Stark is not Tony. Tony Stark is Tony Stark. Bruce Wayne and Batman are two different people.
Right.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, people that Superman has been cynical at times, okay? But the thing is that makes Superman people like Superman. He's always a positive. He sees the things in the light. He's okay.
The different directions, because I'm trying to read what he's trying to say. I'm mostly referring to obviously Man of Steel. I'm talking more about movies specifically. The sort of like direction they've gone into where the Boy Scout kind of like bubbly character who's always nice. Those characters, I feel like they don't work or something like that. I don't really understand that, but I see what you mean. Yeah. So I'm referring to Man of Steel specifically.
People call Captain America a boring character, and look at MCU.
Because they figured out a way to do something with Captain America. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, I think should always be the example of how to do that type of character. It's not that you change the character; you have to present the world around the character as being kind of cynical, and it makes that character more interesting because now they have to do something about it.
When I talk templates, you cannot do a villain, a comic book villain. The Joker from The Dark Knight cannot be a template for villains because there's no villain in any comic book medium that's like the Joker at all.
No, you shouldn't just take one character that's popular and insert it to the other because at that point it's just they're all clones. Like what's interesting about that?
Like Joker is like What is Joker? His obsession with Batman. That's his motive.
Right.
MCU, there's no obsession with no obsession with the heroes. Like one villain is obsession with the hero. The villains in the MCU are not there to cause problems just to get the hero's attention. They have that's
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, he wasn't even being the problem is like people talk about deconstruction and construction of the character in Man of Steel. What construction is there? He doesn't. I mean, like Man of Steel is introducing the character, and the character is put in positions where he's told you don't need to do this and blah blah blah. But why though? Like they never really explain, why Jonathan Kent has that perspective anyway. Like why don't they deserve to be saved? What like and the whole thing about like the Christ figure, there's no he's a Christ figure and he doesn't want to save them because what they've sinned.
Well,
We've never
first of
even seen
all,
that in the movie. We never
he's
seen
based
these
off
normal people.
Oh,
Moses. He's not based off Christ. He's based off Moses. So they got
But that's what I'm saying. That's what they say in Man of Steel. Man of Steel, there's a
yeah.
scene where he goes and they literally it's the most on the nose thing ever where he's in the church
Mhm.
and you see Jesus behind him. Like, okay, like how is he like Jesus then? What
Yeah.
exactly is he doing? It's like I don't there's not it's nothing interesting. It's literally just he's like Jesus. Okay, how? We're show like create some metaphors, create a scene
You get the
that
match too.
reflects that. Or
Yeah.
or what like
the,
it's
the,
not a
the thing
deconstruction.
Here's the
the,
thing.
the,
Here's the
the
thing.
thing that's crazy. Here's the thing that's crazy. You do the deconstruction in your first movie with
That's
this version of Superman.
that's actually an insult. Zack Snyder personally kind of insulted the creators of Superman with that scene because the creators of Superman were Jewish.
It's the thing is like he just took something people say
Yeah.
and did no elaboration, no thought
Yeah.
into it. No,
Um,
yeah, you're right, Arkham. That's not very well explained.
yeah.
It's not. It's sort of just people say things and then you're like again, like this whole like don't save the people. You don't have to save me. You let me go. And you're like, but why? He literally can do anything. At that point, why wouldn't he? You would have to explain that. Like why should he not do that?
Hmm.
And that could have been interesting, but that's not what the movie's not well written enough to to show that. It just stops there. It just says, "Don't save me," and then he lets his father die for what? By the end of the movie, people know who he is, and the thing is, by the time we see Man of Steel, it's not like people hate him. Like, yes, people are like,
Decisive.
Batman is yeah, they're decisive about him, but maybe that's because he hasn't shown the world what he is meant to do. He's Superman. He's going to save people. And it's so weird. It's like we're never like why first off, Batman is skeptical because he's all powerful and can do anything. But why not show Superman slip up then and then question him? But no, we see him do everything Superman does, and yet Batman is still skeptical of him. Why?
I say the slip up was Superman not taking Zod to an area where there's no casualties, collateral damage. Take him out of the city. But
Yeah,
here's the
but
thing. Here's the
still.
thing. Here's the thing. If you watch a TV show, he fights people in the cities all the time, and yeah, you get my point, right? It's like,
I mean, here's the thing
mhm.
though. In Batman versus Superman, Batman's big beef with Superman is the fact that he's of another world and he's skeptical of what he's going to do. Not really because of Zod and like his whole approach to taking down Zod. It was more about him being an alien and being foreign.
And he's like,
That's it.
you're not a man.
Yeah, you're not a. Yeah, it's dumb. And then Batman only realizes he's human because he has a mother. That's it. Like, and this is why I think people say this is deep. This is not deep. It's
I
ankle
It
levels of a puddle.
It's like they're trying so hard, and it just.
No, it's not interesting at all. Like, there's some stuff you could take it and develop it further, but you need scenes and you need something.
I hope James Gunn's Batman is better than Ben Affleck's Batman, because Ben Affleck's Batman is like he's a veteran Batman for 2 decades, but he seems so naive at times, like like or all of a sudden discovery of metahumans, all this and all this. He's like, seriously, like he's not in the know,
right?
And you know how Batman is. Like, come on, Batman. If he knows there's an alien flying for a couple of years, he'll know. If he knows there's a speedster for Essential City for a year or two, he'll know about it. Because he's freaking Batman. He knows. You know what he's like. Yeah.
It's just poor. I mean, all of that's what I mean. Like, if these people who love Zack Snyder, okay, I get it, but like they don't. I think sometimes like what is frustrating about Zack Snyder and the whole conversation is like they don't take the criticism well. They don't actually look at what people are saying, and they just think, oh, they're going after Zack. They're going after Zack. Meanwhile, the criticism, if Zack Snyder actually listened to the criticism,
no,
maybe his movies would be better.
No, he doesn't. Look at Rebel Moon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because it's the same problem as Rebel Moon. Same problem.
Oh, remember what he said about Rebel Moon? Like, oh yeah, if this was a theater, so we made a lot of money because of like with the numbers on Netflix. I'm like, if it was a theater, so it'd not make $1 billion.
It would flop. It would be the biggest bomb of the year, bro.
Madam Red for a week last week was the #1 movie shown on Netflix. Is that gonna make $1 billion?
Yeah.
Like, that's admitting he doesn't learn this lesson.
No, he doesn't. Some artists, I feel like I don't understand why they can't listen to constructed. Yeah, like like every person has to take it, but apparently when you reach some levels of success now, apparently it's no longer valid.
I mean, I know a lot of people that not The Walking Dead, but I so bad. I don't like the movie. I forget what it's called. The Dead movie.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. I did not like. I thought that movie was bad as hell.
Yeah.
To me, his Netflix stuff is shit. I don't think the Netflix stuff is good.
No, it's not good.
I gotta hope Netflix doesn't make a third Rebel Moon movie.
Oh goodness, please no.
But did you see like an interview, guys? Like he wants to make like 6 movies or something like that. I'm like, fuck no.
Yeah, hell no.
No.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No, I don't even. I even question about the idea part.
Well,
I'm glad that his Star Wars idea got rejected after watching both Rebel Moon movies.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Honestly, can I give a take? I think Zack Snyder could have messed up Star Wars worse than Rian Johnson did.
Oh, for sure, he would have killed Star Wars. I think he would have killed Star Wars.
I think he would have done even more damage to the brand than Rian Johnson did or was accused of.
I mean, I don't even. I mean, like I'd be curious to see what that Star Wars.
Listen.
Exactly.
I think he would have done something similar to Luke Skywalker to what Rian Johnson did.
He would have had a
great. I mean, look, he deconstructed Superman and Batman. You don't think he would have deconstructed Luke Skywalker?
He would have mentioned stuff with grape in it.
That's right.
Oh yeah. And I don't know, like it just feels like I think the Snyder fandom has just made his ego bigger because he was on Joe Rogan like I don't know, like a few months ago or something. It was like I forget what he was talking about, but he just seemed really like arrogant in his interview.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, like that's what it came across to me.
Here, this guy said he claimed to be a comic book fan. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't understand.
Okay, can you talk about any other comic book that's not the Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah.
Because
James
he's got
Gunn
such a
can.
listen. Like, regardless of how you feel about James Gunn, the guy's always sharing different comic books. He's sharing comic book history. He's promoting the comics.
He's made a show about Peacemaker.
It's
Who is a
like
Peacemaker of any
when
DC character who has his own show?
it's like Zack Snyder. The only comics that he knows, besides maybe Watchmen or whatever, is the Dark Knight Returns, because he wants to make a movie based off that. He said he would do a movie based off that
I think
without Affleck and Cavill.
Here's the thing. I bet you that movie would not even come close to the animated movies, the part 1 and 2.
Oh no.
No.
But yeah, he said if he was allowed to, he would do a movie without Cavill and Affleck with Dark Knight Returns.
He can.
I know, but if he was allowed to, he said he would. Yeah. Like that's how much he doesn't even care about.
Oh, here's the thing. Cavill doesn't like his version of Zack Snyder's Superman. He said himself. Cavill doesn't like that Superman he plays. He's always said he wants to play a more happy, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
The Snyder fans think Cavill loves that version. No, he didn't. Because if you know Cavill, it's one of the issues with The Witcher. He's true to the source, right? To the character, right? So, yeah, Cavill said not what the Snyder fans think. Because he had no problem. Obviously didn't get him, but he had no problems appearing on the other Superman films that there was not Zack Snyder related. Just Warner Brothers decided not to get him, just not to bring him in until Black Adam, which really went nowhere.
Mm.
Well, we're in a new era for DC, guys. I mean, we got Creatures Commando, and then you got the Penguin. Well, even that's not related, but it's related to the Batman universe. What else? I don't know what else DC. Lanterns is pretty much have writers set in stone. Looks like the Lanterns. Yeah. Yeah. I just before I finish, I just find out who might do the Lanterns. Damon Lindelof. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lost Watchmen and Ozark, and Chris Mundy are writing.
I know a lot of people are gonna cry about that, but
what? Chris Ozark? Are you kidding me? The writer for Ozark is on this. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that show. It seems like it's gonna be very unique and different.
Here's the thing. What I noticed about James Gunn for his project, he's going really, really for the high, for some really well-known writers and some known creators, where Marvel sometimes will, but most of the time they won't. Right? So, yeah, I'm excited for that. Maybe Landers would be good. Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cop idea, because people always say that Green Lantern's like space cops, but
I don't know, not so much.
I'm interested. Especially after X-Men. I'm curious to see. I'm not too hot on the idea of what they're doing to Harley Quinn, but
you can say that.
It's Elseworlds. It's totally different. So let me see first, and then I'll judge it. But
I like Clayface. It looks like that might be the version we get if they do Clayface, something similar in the Batman universe.
Right.
You think they're saving Hal for the movie? So really? Well, we know Guy Gardner is in the Superman film. What do you say? Oh, you know. Oh my God.
So who would it be then? Would it be
Ryan
Jon
Reynolds.
Stewart being the
Ryan
old
Reynolds for Hal? Much more than come back for Hal. Hal. Jon Stewart, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I thought it was gonna be like Hal Jordan is like the old kind of seasoned Green Lantern training
Oh, I don't
the
want that.
rookie. Oh, why not? It sounds like a pretty cool idea.
And what are you gonna have Sinestro ready to Yellow Lantern?
I don't think Yellow Lantern is gonna be in at first, but I think over time we would see
Bradley
all the
Cooper is
Lanterns.
Hal Jordan.
Oh my goodness!
I don't necessarily mind that.
I think it's gonna
So
be.
this sounds pretty interesting.
I know. I'm telling you, my hot take is Degrassi disagreed with me, but I think Glenn Powell might actually be Batman.
Glenn Powell? No way.
Yeah.
No. I think Booster Gold for him, like I could see that happening. I don't know if that will happen. But anything else, I don't know.
I mean, you need a handsome actor to play Batman. Well, Bruce Wayne, not Batman, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know about Glenn Powell as Batman. I don't know anyone who could play Batman right
Oh
now.
my God, Degrassi! Here's what's happening. You know you're listing all these names, right?
Well, he's probably saying that because of Furiosa.
He's saying this. They're going to poach DC. They're going to poach some Marvel characters.
At this rate, why not?
Who did he say? Who did he say? Timothy Chalamet was going to be? Because I mentioned him.
Yeah, I don't remember who he said. Yeah.
So Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be. Anya Taylor-Joy actually, if she was to dye her red and become Batgirl.
Oh no, not Adam Driver as Dick Grayson. No.
No.
But that
one, no.
First of all, isn't Adam Driver now 40?
Yes, he is. So he'd be old Batman.
Why do we need?
Oh, Dick Grayson Batman.
Why do we?
No.
Why do we need a Nightwing or Dick Grayson that's older than Superman?
I think is Anya Taylor-Joy going to dye her red and become maybe Batgirl?
For goodness sakes, he would be older than Diana in the DCE. Well, maybe not older than Diana, but Gal Gadot. Sorry.
Adam Driver. Oh man, Adam Driver just has to pick better movies right now.
Sure, but
he's in a slump.
Yeah, I mean, we know Lord of the Rings. They're not making a Strider movie. They're making a Hunt for Gollum. Like, okay, whatever.
It's mine. It's my birthday.
I think these whole movies get talking about the whole movie.
My precious.
I think it's okay for a little bit of movies, but I can't. I don't think that. I think that voice would get very annoying for a whole film. I'm sorry.
Those Lord of the Rings movies, they're like always like over 2 hours and 30 minutes long, like 2 hours.
I don't want to. I actually don't want to hear a 2-hour film of Gollum speaking like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like we want our precious.
Damian Wayne.
Mine. My birthday.
Desire. Bilbo Baggins.
Baggins.
Wait. Because it's almost 1 o'clock, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Precious. You know what? I because I know Andy Serkis plays both Gollum and Caesar. It's like imagine just having like Caesar and Gollum in the same room. And then it's like, ape must give me precious. And Caesar be like, you not ape. You die. Like
what's the movie going to be? The whole film is going to be Gollum deteriorating into that state. I mean,
I think that'd be interesting for maybe one movie, but not two. Like they want to make what, 2 movies?
Oh boy.
And it's like if you're gonna do a movie based off that, that'll probably be like 2 hours long, no more, no less. Actually, you could probably do it in less time. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna.
It's like it's got to be different than what you did with Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. I don't know. Right. I just hope this franchise doesn't get milked because I like the Middle Earth franchise. I know it's not perfect. Well, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is perfect. Regardless of what Randall from Clerks says, There are two returns, and they are of the Jedi and the King.
Well, yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it here, man. It's 1:00. George, you got anything to promote?
Oh, you can find me at the George. I'm seeing Furiosa tomorrow, so Furiosa review coming this weekend. My working school year is gonna be ending in a few weeks, so I might have time for a couple streams before my real last dance happens, summer camp. And then after that, who I don't know what the plan is after that.
Yeah. Blinded?
Well, yeah, Controller Chronicle. I think we're posting a episode next Friday, and there's probably gonna be some streams. I may post a video soon. I have a lot of video scripts that I've written, so I have to start recording and making stuff. But yeah, stuff is coming, I guess.
How are you feeling better? So that's because I could tell in your voice.
Yeah, I still have the cough though. That's annoying.
Oh, that's the last thing to go. Yeah, thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and yeah, take care, guys.
Peace.
Peace.